Hey, all right, am I live here once again at In Your Head Wrestling Radio? I'm the internet icon, the pride of the pilgrims, the most honest man in all podcasting, and we are here for the live WrestleMania 41 watch along. I thought the show started at 8, but it started at 7. So we already into the WrestleMania night one here in Vegas. And the man who won the Royal Rumble, the man who was going to go on the main event WrestleMania, just won the title in the opening match of night one at WrestleMania. Yeah. So this was I saw the end of the match. I got home a little late. It was a fun match. What I saw, I'm a little surprised they had Jay tap out, make Gunther tap out. I really assumed he would win, but I did not think he would make Gunther tap out. You know, Gunther's not a guy you think is going to be tapping out in a match. Now we've got some commercials here. What a lame ending. I didn't think it was lame. I just did not expect Gunther to tap out. You know, I wouldn't want Gunther to tap out. I think you can have Jey Uso just pin him. I think Gunther tapping out I would save for, you know, a different match. I think just straight up Jey Uso pinning him is a good ending. I mean, I think Jey Uso really would have been just been dead if he would have lost this match. I think that would have been like, I don't think you'd really have anything else for him. I think you'd probably just go back to the Usos. So if you want to take a shot at him going to the next level, I think he definitely has to win. And he did. Now, I do think winning in the opening match as opposed to main event, it does automatically kind of tell the audience, like, well, we don't really have that much confidence in him to main event the show. Instead of three guys who don't have a title, but they're more important, they're main eventing the show. And I get that match is, you know, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. But besides the fact that they are big names, like if this was real, and when you're watching the show, it's supposed to, you know, you're supposed to be like watching, you know, a fake sports show. It makes no logical sense that if this was all real, that your world title would be opening the match, and then three older guys are in the main event, and it has nothing to do with the title. You know, like I had mentioned this on In Your Head this week or Live Tuesdays. Like, let's say two underdogs get in the Super Bowl, or two teams, not necessarily underdogs, but two teams that don't have huge followings. They get into the Super Bowl. They're in the Super Bowl. They don't just suddenly go and pick two teams that have big followings, even though they didn't win their championship matches. And wrestling is predetermined. So there was a workaround there to get whoever you want as a champion in the main event. And if they are the main people, if you're telling your fans people wrestling for the title, why aren't they wrestling for the title to begin with? I'm having some internet issues, so I'm not sure. I may have lost connection. Hopefully I'm still here. Am I still here? I see I might not be able to do this. I think my internet is very poor at the moment. I'm going to go to break real quick, see if I can figure this out. And if not, we'll just go and enjoy WrestleMania on our own.
This is Bobby Lashley, and you're watching In Your Head Online.com.
All right, we're back. Welcome to In Your Head Wrestling Radio. I am Jack, along with my right-hand man.
1-inch biceps, the power goat.
Oh, man. And joining us right off the bat, we usually have the guest on 8:30. He's on right at the start. We're joined by former WWE superstar. He's had a lot of titles. Now he's in the MMA world. We got Bobby Lashley on the show. Welcome to In Your Head.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Man. I'm down here training and enjoying myself. This whole fight game is a very fun adventure, I think.
You said you're in training now. How different is the training for MMA, compared to when you were training for in pro wrestling or for amateur wrestling?
I think they're all three different, completely different. I think the MMA style is more in your face. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to learn. I think MMA. Well, I think the part they're similar in is that in professional wrestling, you're always learning. There's always something new to learn, and you always have a different opponent. So you always have a different style, a different match, and everything. And I think that's the same thing that you have with MMA. Like the last guy I fought was a big-time jiu-jitsu guy, so I had to train against a jiu-jitsu guy. This guy's a striker, so I have to start training against the striker now. So there's something different in every match. But as far as training from MMA has been a whirlwind. I mean, I've been down here training in Fort Lauderdale at American Top Team, which is probably the best fighting organization in the world, I believe. Mm-hmm. So every day, I mean, I'm banging with the best fighters in the world. So it's tough. It's tough. It's not any place for the weak-hearted, the weak-minded person to be.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you came actually from amateur wrestling to professional wrestling, like, were you a wrestling fan, or did you kind of look down on it? Because there are a lot of like amateur wrestlers who, think, oh, it's professional wrestling. That's just silly. What were your thoughts on professional wrestling before you got into it?
No, I was a huge wrestling fan. I was a huge professional wrestling fan. Mm-hmm. When I was little, I used to watch it all the time. There was a little spell in there where I kind of lost contact with it a little bit, and that's when I was training really hard at the Olympic Training Center and through my last years in college. But I still caught a glimpse of it every now and then. Like, I still kept up with Kurt because Kurt was a wrestler, and I kind of followed what he was doing. And then that's when The Rock was big and all that stuff. So I was always a wrestling fan, always a professional wrestling fan. So when I had the opportunity and when I was presented the opportunity, I jumped right into it.
Excellent. Is that a guy you would have wished you got in the ring with, Kurt Angle?
Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
That's one. Kurt Angle, and then another person is just because he's an icon. He's been around the business so long. He's always had great matches, and that's Undertaker. Mm-hmm. And then I guess another person that I really didn't. I did little bits and pieces with in the short time that we were actually together was Triple H. So I guess that's another person that I wish I would have had a little bit more contact with.
Yeah. Well, what is the difference between being in front of a wrestling crowd and being in front of an MMA crowd? Is it the same thing, or is it a different experience? It's
the same crowd. It's the same rowdy crowd. That's why I love it.
Right.
Because a lot of the same people that I see in MMA, they follow professional. They're professional wrestling fans also. They go back and forth. These are the people that like entertainment, like more physical entertainment. So it's the same crowd either or.
Mm-hmm. You talked about I mentioned the Undertaker, and he's seen a lot of times at MMA shows, and he incorporates some of the MMA moves in the wrestling. Do you keep in contact with him at all? Is he happy that you're doing well in MMA?
Well, he wished me good luck in my adventures here in the business. I don't keep in contact with him so much personally, but there's other guys on the roster that I'm still friends with that I do talk to from time to time, and I still turn on and watch them when they have a big match coming up. So I just I'm still a wrestling fan. So
Hey, all right, I'm back. I don't know. I'm having some internet issues here, so hopefully this works. But let's see. We are so the opening match already went over. Jey Uso main event. Jey Uso wins the title from Gunther tap out, which I was surprised. But I was not surprised that Jey Uso won, but I was surprised that he made Gunther tap out. So now we have a New Day coming out. It's not the fun-loving New Day that I always enjoyed. We've got the evil New Day. They come out all somber, pissed off, no longer smiling, no more bootios. Now, are they supposed to be dressed like Elegante? Is that why he has the? I guess they are. They are. It's kind of funny, I guess. Well, they just had the WrestleMania 9 documentary, didn't they? So that's their tie-in. So we got purple unicorns in the back. I don't know how I feel. I guess it's funny. Is that Heath Slater? Or George Kittle? I don't know who that is. But he towers over New Day. It's always weird when they have non-wrestlers in the crowd and they're much bigger than the wrestlers. So, all right, I'm kind of into this idea the more I think about it. So we've seen people pay homage to, the greats like Hulk Hogan and Ed DiBiase. But if you're a heel, you come out and you pay homage to some of the worst angles. So there is Giant Gonzalez tonight. Maybe, they come out SummerSlam as Mantar. The War Raiders. Now, someone had told me that they're no longer the Viking guys. That they act like they used to in Ring of Honor, and I haven't seen them because I don't watch SmackDown. But as I see right now, they are still like very, very fake looking. Which I do. I still stand by the idea of a time machine. If you bring in the time machine, you can have actual Vikings from another era. Kitty is a tight end for the. Oh, I thought you were just looking at his ass, but I see. I see. Well, he's much bigger than the New Day. So the War Raiders come out dressed in like very cheesy. Looks like stuff you'd buy at like Spirit Halloween, like a plastic looking crown. Someone needs to explain to me. On In Your Head, they kept telling me no, they're no longer the Viking War. Now they're the War Raiders, and they're no longer pretending they're Vikings. Now they're like this, like they did Ring of Honor. They're all masked, and then come out War Raiders, but they look exactly the same. Clash of Clans. I'm not sure. I assume it's a video game. Is it like mobile or Duck Hunt? All right. So the new come in, they start attacking the smaller bald War Raider. Is that Ivar or is that what was it? Ivar and Zubaz or something? They got one with the big. Well, I guess they both have beards. So he picks him up almost for like a over the shoulder backbreaker, then just tosses Kofi into Xavier Woods. That was pretty cool. I was gonna say the bald, but no, the one guy does have hair, doesn't he? So the bald one just body slammed the other War Raiders off the ring apron onto the other two guys. That was kind of cool. Man, this dude's a really real fat ass. Is this Ivar? I like the big heavy wrestlers. We don't really have a lot like that anymore. It used to be when I was a kid, everywhere would have one or two just big fat dudes. And I mean that in a good way. Like he was King Kong Bundy, Kamala, Typhoon, Earthquake, the One Man Gang. I like these kind of wrestlers. So is this over? I thought it was all over. Well, how come the referee now? Something people will complain to no end in AEW is if like the ref counts like 3 while there's both men in the ring, or they don't kick other people out. But they just did the double team move, went for the pin, and both guys were on top of Kofi or Xavier, and the ref still counted anyway. But a lot of that kind of stuff is just stuff they do in modern wrestling, but people just pick it out in AEW and give it a pass in WWE. like slaps and stuff. Everyone does it in WWE too. Everyone does dives, but they only pick out Nate. It's a cool crowd, obviously. Vegas. The arena looks cool. Looks like even if you were high up there, well, you're still pretty far up. But I like how it's tapered up. No togas. No one's in togas tonight. Wrestlemania 9 was actually always one of my least favorite WrestleManias. I know I think people look back at anything back in the day and with fond memories, nostalgic eyes. But it was not a good show. I always was more of a gritty wrestling fan, even as a kid. So like everyone dressed in togas was pretty bad. And usually outdoor shows are not as good. And so the outdoor atmosphere just it didn't have a good feel to it, the WrestleMania 9. This had definitely has a big time feel place. I haven't really seen a lot of New Day's heel stuff. I don't watch a lot of WWE. I tried to keep up with Raw since it's moved to Netflix. Now that they took the shirts off, the costumes just look odd. I don't know if they looked enough like the Giant Gonzalez for everyone to get that. I don't know if all the crowd knows who Giant Gonzalez is. And then without the paint on like top muscles, it's very strange. And especially with the I kind of have an issue with Xavier's gear here because he's wrestling Vikings and he's got, the fur gauntlets on. It's almost like he's trying to be the Viking. He's like, I'm more Viking than these Vikings. Bad News Barrett on commentary. I like Bad News Barrett. Bad News Barrett's probably my favorite of the WWE commentators. Not a fan of most of the WWE commentators, but I like Bad News Barrett. Is that Pat McAfee? I'm not a fan of Pat McAfee. Deadpool thoughts on my WWE. Historically bad. I don't think there's ever been an occurrence where a wrestling company bought another wrestling company and it turned out well, in the long run. So I would say bad. Maybe they'll do some stuff. I mean, also historically, WWE's not uh, pushed luchadors very well. I do think that's different now. Penta's doing really well. I guess if they just keep it as almost like NXT Mexico, but we've already seen with TNA when they bring the people in and treat them as like near as clearly like the J Brones, it definitely does not help the other promotion. Although I would argue TNA is kind of helpless, where AAA there would be value there where they can run shows in Mexico. In theory, you run your shows in Mexico. You've got the luchador stars that people like. You bring in some big WWE stars, and you've got like some dream matches, especially for the Mexican crowd. So if done properly, I could see it being honestly bigger for the Mexican crowd than the American crowd, but I still historically see it being bad in the long run. It'll just be like eaten up, but we'll see. Yeah, this has been really terrific. The AEW and Ring of Honor. That's just a huge way, not just a waste of money. People, I know, like Intra on the show, he's like, well, just because you don't like Ring of Honor, like that would be fine if it was in its own little bubble and I didn't have to pay attention. But the problem is they have the belts like randomly pop up on the show, and there's already way too many titles in AEW. Then you have these other titles. It's confusing. It muddles the other titles. I honestly believe it takes away from the AEW show. And I think it's been a huge detriment to the company. It takes away Like, I mean, how much the man runs a football team, 2 wrestling companies now, a soccer team. I mean, the guy just can't do this all, and the last thing he needs to do is waste time worrying about a worthless wrestling company that has no television and has, like, 15 titles. That's 3 women's titles and 11 women on the roster. Nasty New World Order. Thank you, Nate G. By the way, hit the like button, subscribe, help support the channel, become a member. If you become a member tonight or a super chat, $5 or more, you will get a wrestling sticker. Just message me and I will with your address and I'll send it. But I will do more of these if some super chats come. I'm not begging for money, if I made a few bucks doing these, I would be more likely to do live watch-alongs, maybe on Raw once in a while. All right. Help support the channel. Here we go. All right, so we've got a New Day. They're kicking the War Raiders. Now we did. It's weird. They're heels New Day, but he does that kind of flippy clothesline Xavier. It's not really a heel move. The what is the V trigger? I noticed you know, the big AEW move. It's like a finisher, sometimes finisher for all the elite guys and Will Ospreay. And I noticed in WWE everyone's starting to do it here too. The last show I watched, I think it was the Rumble, all the women did it. Like in the women's Rumble, like honestly, like 10 or 12 of the women did the move. And I never saw anyone do it until AEW. All right, New Day's going to the top. New Day's kind of wrestling like baby faces, honestly. It is hard when you have the smaller heels versus the big baby faces. It's always a little strange dynamic there. Sort of the demolition finisher, only instead of the elbow, it was a double stomp, and that was the finish. It was a match. It's fine. New Day, new tag champs. I'm a New Day fan. Match was just kind of there for me. No different than a match I'd watch, on Raw or SmackDown. This match is so boring. Sucks. They made the War Raiders make them dress like idiot mobile. Oh, so that's what they are. I just thought this was what they always dress as. They look like they were dressed as like slapped there by Ivar. A huge thigh slap there. Again, I don't really care because it's wrestling. I grew up when people would punch, they would stop the mat. But I do like to point out that by all the old time casters, all the old wrestlers, hey, slap. I don't really care. I grew up watching wrestling when people would stomp, when they would punch, and all that stuff. But all the old time podcasters will call it out in AEW, and they do a lot in AEW, but that's because they do a lot in all of modern wrestling. And we just saw there some very obvious thigh slapping right into the camera, and it would probably go unnoticed by the same people who will call it out on AEW. Yeah, I'm having some internet connections, Nate G. Hopefully we stay on here. So now we just go to straight up commercial. Clash of the I'll be honest, that looks pretty fun. Clash of Clans. Now I will say this. I am not a fan of all the breaks on the WWE pay-per-views. It really hurts the flow. Like you have a match and then the match, ends and then you have like 10 minutes of ads. And I wouldn't be that bad if they did that once or twice, like after an hour or something, but they do it between every single match. Yeet! I still don't know what yeet means, but I like Jey Uso. I've always been an Uso fan. I really hate the Usos for some reason. I've never really understood why. I've always thought they were good. I'm happy for Jey Uso. I do think it's kinda lame that Jey wins the Rumble and then, he opens WrestleMania. But new champion. I think, we'll see what he does, but if that's any indication, I don't foresee him being really, treated that great as champion when you had him win the opening match for the title. Hey, it's, Ice-T's son, right? Ice Cube? Ice Cube's son. Michael Che, I don't know who that is. Hell yeah, Jelly Roll, that's Dobbs' boy. Yeah, Gunther, I honestly, why not just have Jay pin him and save Gunther tapping out for, a big moment down the road? I don't think you needed the tap out. I think just Jey Uso winning is big enough. And then down the road, you save that. You know, Gunther may have lost, but he's never tapped out. And then down the road, someone known for submissions makes him tap out. Jey Uso's not a submission guy. But I realized they really wanted to put Jey over big, even though they decided not to have him in the main event. Main event, Jey Uso opening the show for the title. This next match, Jade Cargill versus Naomi. And I'll be perfectly honest. Don't care about this match. I actually like Jade Cargill. Not really a Naomi fan, and just as a match, I mean, I do not care at all. That does not feel like a WrestleMania match. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Is anyone out there really pumped for this? Another commercial. Now I've got a commercial for like I've got a commercial in Spanish. Why do I have a commercial in Spanish? A Spanish commercial for 911. But now I've got an English commercial for Liberty Mutual. And NHL, all the NHL playoffs run too. Tomorrow, it's really strange. It's on Easter. I'm not a big religious guy or nothing, but like a lot of Americans, even if you're not religious, the holidays are tradition. And so, like, I'm not celebrating Jesus or whatever, but I spend Easter with my family, Christmas with my family, all these things with my family. Tomorrow I have plans with my mom and my mom's friend and her family. So it's a friend of my mom who grew up with her. They grew up together. Linda, her kids are her youngest son's my age, her oldest son's my brother's age. So we grew up together. Her husband died a few years ago, and then since then, my mom and her has been hanging out a lot more. A lot of my family's passed away, and so we spend holidays together. And so, like most people are gonna spend their holiday together with their family, either their immediate family or whatever. So the point is, having WrestleMania on Easter is very strange because I'm not gonna be home. I'm gonna be having Easter dinner. We made reservations at a restaurant, her family and ours and mine, and then I'm heading to Boston to film a movie, which I know is probably not traditional for an Easter thing either. But um, plus, like everyone who works for WWE, all the wrestlers, all the just the staff, everyone sets up in the ring. You think they'd probably want to be home for Easter. You don't think everyone for Easter, like, let's go to WrestleMania is probably not the biggest thing on their mind. And then it's Easter, the day Jesus rose. So let's hold the pay-per-view in Sin City. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Like, again, I'm not a religious dude, but even I'm like, well, that's kind of odd. Let's celebrate Easter. with prostitution and I know it's not really legal there, but it makes this funnier to me. In the city of sin, what the hell's Jesus thinking? He rises from the grave on Easter and he's like, what the hell's going on over here on WWE? I'm obviously a big WWE fan. I'm gonna go to Wrestlemania. It's on my not my birthday. It's his birthday, his resurrection day. Goes over there. And he's like, whoa, wait a minute, what the hell's going on here? Gambling and where the hell's the Easter bunny and eggs? That's how you celebrate my resurrection. All right, Naomi, can you put on the show? No. If I just start live streaming Wrestlemania, I am gonna get kicked off YouTube. I'm gonna get kicked off Twitch. I'm gonna get kicked off Facebook. I'm gonna get kicked off everything. I'll probably get a strike. Also, Easy Man Trippy Kane can watch WrestleMania for free. No, that is a no, SC Man Trippy Kane, if that's your real name. This hasn't kicked off with energy I thought it would. Hopefully you mean the WrestleMania itself, not me. Naomi comes out to metal. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, this music, you mentioned it, Nate, does not fit her at all. Let's see. Don't hate it. I mean, I don't necessarily hate it, but I do think it feels very generic and it doesn't fit her. So what is she wearing? Who used to wear that caution tape? Wasn't that Owen Hart? Didn't Owen Hart wear that when he was with Nation of Domination or something? I mean, come on. Does anyone care about this? Naomi versus Jade Cargill? All right, enough with the ads. I get it. Hot and spicy firewalk. Friggin' oodles and noodles. We just saw 20 minutes of ad between the matches. Now this match is brought to me by Oodles of Noodles, by Dollar Store Ramen. WrestleMania weather report. A more ad! Jim Cantor Storm Tracker. What is this shit? What is this bullshit, Nate G? I know these ads are fucking just, don't they? Honestly, look, I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer here, but don't they just ruin the flow? Like you're in us WrestleMania, and then it's like, here's 10 minutes of ads, then the match starts, and they're like, this is brought to you by Dollar Store Ramen, and then it goes to a skit about some guy, and I guess that. Wait a minute, that was to build Jade Cargill. This fucking dumbass looked like he was on like local access. That was something from like 93 WWE. Be like Doink and Dink. Not even good Doink stuff. That was like bad Dink and Skinner. I'm a big Jade fan. Looks great, but she has lost a lot of muscle mass. Now she looks very attractive, a lady here, but she doesn't. She's not like a giant anymore. Tall, much leaner. It's probably healthier. She's got a nice posterior. Nate G never pass, as you say. Let's see. That could go for either one in this match. I'd have to say that. All right. So, Jade got the storm hair going on. I guess that was her. She stormed tonight. Jade Cargill. Now that attire would not go well in Saudi Arabia. The prince would not be happy. He'd be like, we must throw a beekeeper's outfit over her. Too much skin for Saudi. Isn't WrestleMania next year in Saudi Arabia, or is that the Rumble? The Royal Rumble, maybe? People are always calling into the show and complaining about all the ads in the ring, and I was thinking, I don't care. But it does look pretty lame when I'm sitting here watching WrestleMania and the ring's just covered in Slim Jim and Cricket and City of Wolves. What is that? Is that Guardians of the Galaxy? No, I don't know what it is. Some game or something. Oh, that Clans. But yeah, look, she is way, way thinner than she used to be, which is fine. But for someone known to be like so much, her real like calling card, she has a presence to her, and she's much bigger, but probably now. You got the double choke by Jade. It's not a particularly good match so far. So Naomi's going to the top, gets thrown off, a la Ric Flair kind of deal there. Oh, so Jade actually has like skillered nylon on, so she's not completely bare. A foot stomp. Naomi just stomped on Jade's big toe. You don't see that, Matt. You don't see that very often. Aaron Mubaga, I really want to watch. That's nice, but I cannot illegally stream WrestleMania. Let's see here. Buy Peacock. It's like $5. It's not like you got to pay $60 for this. It costs like $5 a month, and you get everything that's on Peacock. So don't give me this cheap bitch stuff. I just start streaming the show for me. Nothing, Karen Mubarak. I'm sure you're a fine person. We've got who's fighting? I just said it's Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Naomi just did like a face buster. That was actually pretty cool. She did a face buster outside the ring on Jade Cargill. Jade's feet were on the apron. I really actually hate this outfit now by Jade, because not like I'm some pervert and I need to see all the skin, but it looked like she was just just very bare, just her skin. But now the nylon stuff is starting to like jumble up. So in the back, it makes her look like she has some kind of spines or something. Like she's like some kind of dinosaur or something. It's weird. Weird. All right. So Naomi's winning so far. I mean, let's be honest. Let's just get this match over. No one cares. So Naomi did like a head scissors into like almost a DDT with head scissors. It was kind of cool, I guess. I mean, is this match for any? Do they have a feud? They show all these ads. Why don't they show like a video package of why they're fighting? I don't need to see weatherman from local access cable TV and ads for an app and some Slim Jim ads. They're showing 20 minutes of ads. Show me a 2-minute video package of why I should care about Naomi versus Jade Cargill. They can't do a video package. They have 50. Yeah, what the hell? I mean, I'm not saying they got to show like a 10-minute video package, but you can show a 1-minute video package. They're like, this is why they don't like each other, why they're wrestling, this is why they're fighting. And then for people who only watch WrestleMania or people who don't watch every show like me, they're like, oh, okay. And for people who do watch it, it doesn't take away. You're like, wait a minute. Why they show me this? I want to know more about the dollar store ramen. Wait for it. man, Jade has not improved, has she? Just very, very green. She's not terrible, but just very green. That was pretty cool. Naomi was running at Jade. Jade flipped her over into a back. It was pretty cool. It's just you could just very herky jerky. She's not smooth at all, I guess is what I should say. Pat McAfee. I for life of me don't know why people like him. Not a fan. But I can't deny people really like him, so what do I know? Nice super kick by Jade. It's funny, everyone does super kick, don't they? Jade, I thought she was gonna do a stinger splash, but kind of did a flying elbow into the corner. Jade almost looks like she's blown up, but really hasn't done anything. Jade even just standing there, she's just not good. She's powerful, and it's someone like, wow, there's a lot of potential here, but just never really improves. Because so she just caught Naomi and then caught her into a vertical suplex, which was actually really impressive. That took a lot of strength. But there's just little stuff like in between the cool moves, like her face looks like she's trying to think what she's supposed to be doing. We had like a bicycle kick here by Jade. Jade's top keeps falling off. She keeps have to rearrange it. Both these women have nice sides, I would say. Almost a jackhammer, Nate. Yeah, very similar. That is, oh my god, so bad. So Jade's just clearly standing there and she's nodding to Naomi. Just clear they're working together. Again, something that people pick out in AEW, but my god, it's so obvious there. Naomi was on the rope and Jade's just looking at her, nodding, like, yeah, okay, I'll catch you. Jade really needs to work on like her facials when she's in between moves, because it's clear she's not in a real like fight. It's just like, and I know she isn't, but you gotta at least pretend. She almost looks like she's kind of embarrassed or something. Bulldog by Naomi off the top. All right, Naomi springboard, moonsault, RVD kind of style. Honestly, I wish it would just ended. I've had enough. Kick out. It's some weird. Who's this? Like woman with the very yellow hair in the front row. She dressed as someone, or aren't those seats like 10 grand? I was gonna go to AEW in Boston the other night, and the seats all the way in the back were $95. They had a good crowd though. I kind of wish I would have been there. Oh man, some more super kicks here by Naomi. Jade blocks a super kick, goes for her finisher thing there. Naomi rolls her up for a 2 count. Jade clearly just gets up and rolls back. Now Naomi's got her in like the Rings of Saturn kind of deal. Hey, I called it before Bad News Barrett, but yeah, good call, Bad News Barrett. Let's see some roll ups now. Jade's gonna try to pick her up Samoan drop out from the mat, which is very impressive. She dropped some type of something from her ring attire. Jade's going for, I don't know, maybe the one winged angel. Looks like she's really straining. It's probably not good for her back there. Wow, that was pretty wild. So it was like so she had her up on her like she was giving her like a piggyback ride, threw her up, flipped her around, and gave her power bomb. Instead of just going for the pin, then she just picked her up and gave her a finisher, which was a little strange. Not a particularly good match. Some cool moves, but not not a smooth match at all. But definitely some cool moves. But I mean, she can do cool moves. She's got to work on everything in between. Not what I would call a WrestleMania worthy match. I do like Jade. I'm glad she won. Wish she'd get a little better. Yeah, cool move. Nate saying that lady was there on SmackDown too. Okay. All right. Well, so far, I only caught the end of the Jey Uso match, so because I thought it started at 8, not 7. So that was cool that Jay won the title. I like Jey Uso. I do think it's lame that it was the opening match. Uh, and then the New Day match was like it was just a match you would see on SmackDown. Let's be honest. And this one was probably you probably wouldn't see this match on SmackDown because they probably wouldn't have this long of a match with Jade Cargill. But it wasn't not really a great match. Some cool moves though. You can really see where the Jade's hair is sewn or glued on the front there. Okay, let's see. All right, gonna get to some more ads here. While we get to some ads, fucking Jesus Christ, I'm gonna go tweet this out. Join me live here on the Twitter machines. Hit the like button, subscribe. If you'd like to become a member, it's only $3 a month. I think my internet's working better now, so I should be able to pop some stuff up. If not, I apologize. Who is this? SummerSlam ad by someone I don't know. Now I realize I'm not hip with what the kids are into, but every time they have celebrities on here, I have no idea who they are. Two-night SummerSlam. Oh my god. Do we need 2 nights of everything? Will Royal Rumble be 2 nights and they'll do the men's Royal Rumble one night and the women's the next night? Now they're showing some highlights from I do kinda like that WrestleMania hoodie is pretty cool. So we've, had 2 title changes already. Got Bad News Barrett, Pat McAfee, Michael Cole here. Hey, Nate G! Nate G! Yeah! Booyah! Nate G, email me, I want wrestling at gmail.com or, Twitter, whatever, and I will send you a wrestling sticker. I have some around here. I picked one randomly for you. If I find them before the show, I'll show you who you get. Otherwise, I'll send you some random wrestling stickers. Or you can have these underwear that Jason Mitten sent me. No, I don't know. I think we should save these. If someone wants these. No, I'm just kidding. But Jason Mitten sent me those. I'm gonna model them on my OnlyFans. He also sent me these. These are these are these are something. Look, there's a lot of naughtiness going on these. Maybe a lot of naughtiness going on in these too. Hey now. When did Granddad first start investing? What is even going on here? Good Lord, enough ads. IYH wrestling at gmail.com. IYH wrestling at gmail.com. Anybody out there, super chats tonight. This is it's not really one of a kind, but I only have one of them. $30 super chat, and you will get this President Trump ring. Look at that. All right. I'm just gonna give out all these gifts that Jason sent me. What is this? Oh, a pregnancy test. It's a really bizarre collection. Does everyone get the same ads? So they advertise dollar store ramen noodles. Now they're advertising pregnancy test. Now we get some kind of Nintendo game, Nintendo Switch. Good Lord! Come on. How many ads we're gonna get? Canada Dry. So who's pumped about WrestleMania so far? I mean, I'm an honest guy, but so far it's not particularly good. Sometimes when the card's not great, you're like, oh, I'm not really looking forward to it. And then it really surprises you. That's happened lots of times. Let's see. Some people, I can't really read your messages at the moment. But isn't that weird, guys, that WWE bought AAA? I don't know. Is that the one Conan books for? Is that why Conan's become like the big WWE show? Over on the Facebook group, Renee Mercedes, every match has been pretty mid so far. Gunther, Uso, New Day, Roar Raiders, Cargill, Naomi. Yeah, I agree. Gunther Uso is probably the best one, and I actually kind of thought it would be better, but it's fine. Sean Green, you can hear crickets. I don't know about that. I agree with this. Dorian Doc Patel. This is a big ass commercial for everything else. I agree 100%. Come on, enough. We get it. Now I've got Spanish ads again. Why do I have so many Spanish ads? There's a Walmart ad in Spanish. All right. Jacob Fatu. All right. This is actually one of my favorite guys. I'm a big Jacob Fatu fan. I think we're going to get another title, but we've had so many title changes. But this is one that I really hope is a title change. Let's see. Jacob Fatu has a weird face mask on. Again, it's kind of cheap looking. Like you could tell it's kind of rubber. Did they go and hit the Halloween store before the show tonight to buy the mask and the War Raiders gear? For the United States Championship. We got the big ramp, but it's not insanely long where the guys are all blown up by the time they get down the ramp. Jacob Fatu, he's the kind of wrestler I like. He's big. He's very physical. Looks dangerous. Somebody's a sign of their baby's head in the crowd. All right, so we got Jacob Fatu coming to the ring. He'd come out with Solo Sikoa, but Solo went back to crowd backstage. Kind of feels like the even though I know Jey Uso won the title and we got Jacob Fatu out here, Roman Reigns is technically in the main event. It does kind of feel like the bloodline is over, kind of. Like, it's still there, but it's not as important as it was. But it did run for years, and not many angles run that long. Wheatley American. This match is brought to you by Wheatley American Vodka. This is the alcoholic match of the evening. Have an American Mule today. Good Lord, get on with the match. How much money does WWE need? They make like billions just from Peacock, Netflix. Do they need the Wheatley vodka money? Jacob Fatu looking pretty mean, looking pretty vicious. He might be someone I'd have a hard time in a fight with. Oh, I'm so sad. Yeah, I'm a Gooder fan. He's one of my favorites. But like I said, I thought Jay really needed to win. I think if Jay lost, that would have been the end of. I don't think you could have ever gotten anything out of Juice if he would have lost. But Gunther, I think there's still a lot there. All right. LA Knight's coming out in Corvette, I guess, coming out in the car. I don't know what kind of car this is. Now, this is brought to you by something, too. This, of course, it couldn't just be. The other guy was brought to us by vodka, and this one is brought to us by Fatal Fury. Living Loud. Is this some game, too? Some guy in a car? LA Knight, U.S. champion. Not for Jacob Fatu. I like LA Knight. Here he is doing his Steve Austin impressions. He walks down the ring, got a Steve Austin style vest on, gets the same walk. The Maserati, I'm sorry. LA Knight. Oh, he wrestled twice. Who wrestled twice on SmackDown? I didn't see him. Sorry. How late did the Hall of Fame go? Because I heard that Triple H and over just is. I guess no one's gonna kick him off. They're like, hurry it up, asshole, get the hell off there. United States champion LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. Let's go with. I'm going with Jacob Fatu. What do you guys want? Who do you guys want? Wheatley American Vodka. You know, it's come on, Michael Cole. Michael Cole just the match is about ready to start. And he's like, well, you know, American Wheatley Vodka. All right, well, they're showing some military dude out here that they put in like the not even on the floor. They're like, yeah, we'll give him a seat, but we'll put him in the luge. All right. Fatu put Knight in a championship angle. Well, Knight is the champion, but I would like Fatu to win. I am a big fan of Jacob Fatu. I know most people love LA Knight. I haven't seen a lot of him. From what I've seen, he's pretty cool. I can't say I'm like in love with the dude or nothing. But I know a lot of in your head fans, the Headyverse are really big on him. Throwing some pretty good punches. It's a pretty big dude. He has a good snap in like his movement. Nice neck breaker. Hey, that's what I just said, Michael Cole. The BFT, is that like a BLT? So he went for the BFT, but he blocked, but Jacob Fatu blocked it. Jacob's got the gold grills in. looking pretty badass. LA Knight is a big dude. The crowd's really into him. There's not really a negative to his game. He's a good talker, he's a good wrestler, he's good size, good look, charisma. So I am surprised that they've not. I mean, he's WrestleMania singles match. He's US champ, but I'm surprised they haven't tried to do more with the guy. At least try it out. I do think he's not well liked by certain people because at the Rumble, people are complaining that he was trying to showboat or something. I don't know. I just that he's not well liked is why he never gets too much of a push. They'll push him to a certain extent. Some guys, though, clearly are not well liked after Vince left. Like Theory, he's nothing, and he was, all over the show when Vince was around. And the Miz is a guy I think was was a favorite, and I don't think the management are big Miz fans. You see him. This has been really quiet for Mania. Well, it's not been particularly exciting. A world championship angle. He's not getting younger. Yeah, he's got to be. I kind of think I don't think he's ever going to make it there, honestly. But at this point, I think they should have tried now. And since they have it, I kind of don't see it happening. So, Jacob Fatu walking around. He's an Uber athlete. That almost sounds like he's like a rideshare driver. He's an Uber athlete. Like you get the Uber app, you're like, we need a wrestler. They're like, okay, we'll bring this guy in. You got Uber Eats, Uber Ride, and I got Uber out. LA Knights crawling back in the ring. They're fighting outside for a little bit, going to the second rope. Oh, kind of a weak, sloppy power slam by Fatu on LA Knight. Again, so far, this is really just a match you would see on SmackDown. Nothing really exciting. Nothing bad about it. It's just, it's just a match. Thoughts, Sean? I've gone over this many times, but I do think historically, it's never turned out well when a wrestling company bought another wrestling company. I can't remember ever when NWA buys Mid South and Mid South, become really relevant. No, they absorbed it and it disappeared. Obviously, WWE buying WCW, disaster, buying ECW. I mean, they both just went away. Even the little bit of time they've owned TNA, and I get TNA's like very, very low, but thinking with them, like, kind of treat them as jokes. So in the long run, I do not see it going well for Triple A. I think the one thing that's a little different is Triple A is in a whole other country. So WWE in theory could use Triple A as a place to run shows in Mexico. You send your WWE stars there. You already have grown favorites of Mexico, build dream matches. So that's I think, as I said earlier, I think it'll probably, if it does well, I think it'll be more entertaining for Mexican fans than fans in the United States, because I don't think many people in the States care if they bring, some lucha guy. I mean, it's just being honest. But The Mexican crowd will probably be into it if, like, I don't know, Randy Orton goes and wrestles, Mil Mascaras or whoever's big in AAA right now. That was pretty cool. It was, if you told me a guy would do a flying kind of Macho Man style elbow on a guy that's standing, I would think that wouldn't work. It wouldn't look well, but it looked pretty good. Does LA Knight kind of a super kick to the belly from Jacob. Jacob's really not setting the world on fire in this match. I'll be honest. Nothing he's done is particularly great. Jacob went for like a springboard moonsault. LA Knight cut him off. Now Jacob's sitting on the top rope. Craig Jolly just tuned in. Have I missed anything worthwhile? Not really. Jey Uso won the title from Gunther. New Day won the tag titles from the War Raiders, and Jade Cargill beat Naomi. Knight with a belly to back suplex off the top rope, and you immediately knew it was going to win because Michael Cole said for the win. It was pretty cool though. That was good. Belly to back where Jacob completely flipped over and landed on his face. LA Knight's got the crowd into him. Everyone knows this, but when he walks around with he's got the swagger of either Austin or The Rock. His movements, almost like if you're playing a video game and you could tell by the movements who someone is. Jacob with them flying hip attacks into the corner. Michael Cole saying shades of Rikishi and Umaga. All right, Jacob Fatu going to the top rope with the Swanton bomb. Interesting. I don't really particularly care for him doing that. It's impressive that he can do it, but I think the Swanton bomb, like, always is a guy, so I never really get the point. And a big splash by a big guy off the top rope, I think, would be more impactful and better. All right, Jacob Fatu's getting up, picking a headbutt to LA Knight, taking a elbow pad off. He's going to give the people's elbow. Jacob has weird, like almost rubber bands around his arms. I'm not really sure what the benefit is there. This looks kind of painful. I would think your arm would go numb. Jake looks a little blown up. Got some drool in his beard. Crowd split. We got one crowd, like let's go LA, let's go Jacob. Springboard moonsault by Jacob. Supposedly LA Knight caught him in the BLP. I don't know. It didn't look like he did anything to me, but so he was doing the moon. Jacob was doing the moonsault, and I guess LA caught him in his move, the BLT or the MDT or the DM or some kind of DLs and Ts, DLT, McDLT. But it just looked like he just landed and LA Knight just fell backwards. But whatever. Jacob's goozling LA Knight on the top rope. The BFT, I'm sorry. The BFT. The BFT. Not the NXT. Not the NFT. Not the BLT, but the BFT. Jacob with the Samoan drop off the second rope. Another springboard moonsault. This time it hits. Fatu, Jacob's not going to last. His knees are going to be shot, like doing all these moonsaults at like 300 pounds. He's done like 6 of them. Again, I hate to keep harping on this, but if a big guy did all those moonsaults in AEW, you never hear the end of it. But it's fine in WWE, I guess. New U.S. champion, Jacob Fatu. I'm a Jacob Fatu fan, and I was hoping he'd win, but I don't really think that was a great match. It was the picked up at the end. That was cool. Haku's out here, Ming. Jake Fatu, the U.S. champion. So we're clearly telling a story here where every title has changed hands, which could mean that Cody's keeping the title, especially if they would have everyone change titles, and then it's like it's WrestleMania. All the champions are losing. It's a foregone conclusion. Cody's got to lose it now, and then he wins. That's my prediction. Or like everyone's saying, this is not a really thrilling card. Let's just change a bunch of titles. The highlights make it seem look better. I think the highlight reel. It wasn't a terrible match by any means. It was fine. Maybe the I don't know. I was gonna say maybe the best match so far. Gunther. I only saw the end of the Gunther Uso match, so I can't really comment there. I'll say the crowd. You can hear the crowd better in these replays. I don't know. They might not have the crowd mic'd very well during the live part. The crowd's really excited. It is weird though, but that is kind of a thing in modern wrestling where even the heels, if the crowd likes them, they like them. So it's a mix of, they're boo the heel won, but also cheering because the guy that the crowd likes won. Although I do think that Jacob's a guy will eventually turn babyface. Who is the face anymore? Yeah, that's true. I mean, that is again, I can't just say it's a WWE thing. That's definitely a modern wrestling thing. They love these vodka ads. Can you believe that this guy's a babyface, Cody Rhodes? Now, what other era would a guy in this suit walking around drinking his vodka and he's like, what's a stupid neck tattoo? And any other era, they would hate this guy. I'm very surprised that this is a baby face today. You're supposed to cheer for like the pompous elite. What you're saying about all the champs losing this, Craig Jolly? Is it wise to book a whole card around the outcome of the main event? Honestly, I think that is your main goal is the main event. I mean, when you look back, WrestleMania 3 was all about Andre Hogan. I mean, people remember some of the other stuff on there, like Macho Man and stuff, but the show was Andre Hogan. So I think historically, WrestleManias are built all around the main event. So let's see here. WrestleMania week. God, so much going on. Undertaker, one dead man show tonight. The roast of WrestleMania, Tony Hinchcliffe tomorrow. NXT Tuesday. Good Lord. What time's that Undertaker one man show? Doesn't this show probably gonna go to 11 or something? Well, I guess it won't be that late out in Vegas. Still though, you think if you were here for 4 or 5 hours, the crowd, like, you wouldn't wanna just, like, let's go to a one-man show now. Hit the like button. This is a real killer for me, all this waste of time in every match. It's not like you have 2 or 3 matches and then let's take a little break to ease the crowd down. It's between every single match. Oh, wow. I'm actually more excited about this now. El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix, replacing Rey Mysterio. I'm all about this. This is a much better match to me. Do not care about Rey Mysterio. I haven't for probably 20 years, but I'm a fan of Rey Fenix. Good Lord. And now we got an ad for basketball. Not the BFG. No, Trey, not the BFG either. That's a good take. The Taker show would be fun. Would it be? That's not for me, but I'm sure it'd be fun for a lot of people. But, like, if you're at a 4 or 5 hour, wrestling show, would you then wanna go to another show after that? You could be like, let's go sleep." Should have been Chad Gable's match. You think they should have replaced, Rey Mysterio with Chad Gable. So should have been Chad Gable going with versus, El Grande Americano. Now we got Wingstop ads. Now I've got, ads for, bladder protection pads. Man, that people of all ages must watch WrestleMania. They're like, "Here's some ramen, here's a video game, here's an ad for people who, pissed their pants." Imagine if imagine if the next match, if Michael Cole's like, "This match is brought to you by Depends." Now we've got an ad for flowers or something. Good God. This is brain rotting. Just ad after ad. WWE, they're getting like didn't they get like $1 billion for this Netflix deal? Do we need 20 minutes of ads between every single match? Come on already. Let's see. Are you guys in the US getting a different feed to us in the UK? You keep mentioning ads, but all I see is you will match. I would much rather see the match promos. They haven't shown any. All I get are nonstop ads. Just commercial. I mean, not even like WWE ads, just commercials for ice cream and adult diapers and basketball. I mean, it's unbearable. Sean Green, Phoenix has had how many matches before he had this? I guess it doesn't matter. No, I'm gonna disagree with you, Sean. This is a good thing to do. You have a new guy, you wanna get him over. Unfortunately, one of your stars gets hurt. You plug him into this match. Storyline, it fits. That's how you get new people over, by putting them in important matches. So I think that is good move by WWE. Capitalism, baby. Oh boy. Nothing gets me more excited to watch a show than the thought of that show making a lot of money. I'm like, hell yeah, these billionaires who own this are making even more money now. Gets me pumped. All right, so now we got WrestleMania. It's in the sepia tone. We've got some folks playing Mexican music. Got the mariachi players out here. Oh, with the El Grande America hat mask on. It's kind of fun. All right, out comes El Grande Americano. Now, you got anyone know Americano, the coffee drink, which is a shot or two of espresso and then hot water. I actually get those a lot. I'm a fan, but do you know the origin of them? It was during I think it was World War One or World War II, and they would make fun of Americans drinking Italian coffee because it's too strong. So they would add hot water, and it was actually like a joke, like, "Ah, it's Americano." And then decades later, almost 100 years later now, it's just a drink people drink. You can't spell luchador without Chad. Great intro. I agree, Nachi. This is fun. This is probably the most excited I've been all WrestleMania so far. El Grande Americano. Incher thinks this isn't Chad Gable. And I'm not even joking. He like thinks this is some other guy. He thinks the arms are too long. Wouldn't that be something if he took the mask off and it was like some other dude? I kind of, I don't really see it. But takes the mask off and it's Scorpio Sky. El Grande Americano. We should, it would be fun if we saw you know what? Maybe that's why they bought AAA. They're like, we're gonna send El Grande Americano to AAA. He's gonna be the ultimate heel. And that's why WWE's been praising Trump so much this week. They're like, we're just gonna heal it up for the Mexican audience. El Grande Americano. That was a fun entrance. I like it. All right. Ray making his WrestleMania debut. It's my first time seeing him in WWE, actually. I didn't see him on SmackDown. I don't watch SmackDown. It's not that I hate SmackDown, there's just so much wrestling. It's hard to watch all this stuff. I know I host a wrestling podcast. I get it. All right. Out comes Ray Phoenix. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the Lucha Bros. Penta's been doing great on Raw. I'll be honest, Penta, one of the guys that made me start watching Raw. I was like, "Oh, cool, and Penta's here. Let me see how he's doing," and he's been doing really well. I've always liked Ray Phoenix better. I think he's more exciting to watch than Penta, but I feel like Penta fits better in WWE. But I don't know. We'll see. I didn't expect Ray to get a singles match, and I don't know one did. It was because Rey Mysterio got hurt. So this is his time to shine. Take unfortunate for Rey Mysterio, but make the best of it. Take this moment, take this platform, and do something special here. It's nice to see smaller, Latino guys actually do stuff in WWE. Pretty much the entire time I've ever watched it, they'd always be treated as, jokes. People say, "What about Eddie Guerrero?" But yeah, that's the one exception. And Rey Mysterio, I guess. Vikingo. Now, this is a guy I got to be honest. AEW really missed the boat on a really a special talent. And when he first was in AEW, a couple times, like, oh wow, this guy's cool. But then he just became like a nothing. Oh boy, he's getting a lot of boos here. Dana White, he felt like a lot of boos when they showed him. Those people behind Dana White all decked out in Michelle McCool Hall of Fame shirts. Now think about this. Michelle McCool gets a Hall of Fame induction, a straight up real induction. Ivan Koloff, Kamala, they just get put in the historic wing or whatever the hell it is. They don't even get a real induction. But Michelle McCool does. Way bigger than Ivan Koloff and Kamala. Whoa, nice! Ray Phoenix with a very nice Frankensteiner, I'll call it. All right. This is the first match. It's getting me excited here at WrestleMania so far. I'm digging it. Craig Jolly, who the fuck left these guys both wear red and yellow? That is a fair point, Craig Jolly. That's a fair point. We're at WrestleMania. You think you'd want to differentiate them. You got red, white, blue, and then but I'm looking forward to this match. It's already much more exciting than pretty much everything else I've watched so far. Got the crowd on its feet. Well, not on their feet, but I'm excited. We got a test of strength, and interested that we would get a test of strength in the match with the two smaller guys. Let's see. Test of strength, both of them hopping up the top rope. Rey Phoenix, whoa, with the sweet hurricanrana up the middle rope. Is this for the mask or anything like that? Alright. I do think there's a lot of potential there, honestly. I joked about it, but to do, El Grande Americano now that they are working with AAA, he'd be like, because he could work with all those guys, and then he's gonna get mega heel heat down in Mexico. That would be sweet. That'd be good. I'd watch that if they showed a AAA card with El Grande Americano on it. He has the hardest head in the locker room. Where did that come from? Oh, it's because he loaded the headbutt. Let's see. Springboard. All right. For this match, I think this is fitting. I have a Patriot mask upstairs, but by the time I went and got it, we'd probably be showing some ads for Tiddly Wings or Twinkies or something. Phoenix is looking good so far. Yeah. Oh, nice. Nice suplex by El Grande Americano. I'm glad that Chad Gable's holding something. He's not just some, imbecile called Shorty G. Now this has comic elements, but he can actually go out there and perform. He's in a great shape. He's a guy who works well worked well with Pentas, working well here with Ray Phoenix. Arm drag by Ray Phoenix. So it's pretty cool that Ray Phoenix and his brother will be getting a match here on WrestleMania. I'm rooting for Penta to win the what is the belt they're wrestling? Intercontinental belt later on. Talking about AAA championships over the years. Let's see. I don't really know who's in AAA currently. Besides, I'm glad Vikingo will see him. Super talented guy. I think they could get a lot out of. I could go for an Americano, to be honest. Whoa, nice overhead throw by El Americano. All right. Now this is my match. This has been a fun match. I like an assortment on my wrestling show, not just all the same style. Now we get the high flyers out here. Going for a moonsault here by Americano. Wow, no, it wasn't. It was what is that, like a 720 or something? Went for a moonsault, but he did like an extra flip and landed on back on Phoenix. A 540 is that might be right. No, that was pretty sweet. I don't know. It's pretty sweet. They're kind of arguing about what it would be. It is funny they show the ring from like a long shot. You just see all these ads, Xfinity, SNK. Oh, trying to pull the mask off, which is a boost from the audience. They realize that that's the not a nice thing to do. Ray Phoenix with a I don't know what that was. That's pretty cool. Kind of a side fire driver. Ray Phoenix, he's got the Illuminati eye on his top of his head. Disco's gonna be talking about that. And Tazo out there. Ray Phoenix. Oh, dropped in his crotch in the middle of the rope. Botch. I don't know what the botch was, unless I'm blind. Oh, Americano. He's loading the mask. I like that's very old school. Like the old mask guys back in the 80s in the territory used to do that. You'd load up the mask. I like it. Oh, you go in for like old school, like he's kind of going for the headbutt, but really like over the top. And Ray rolled him up and said, "Whoa, sweet!" Ray running the top ropes with a swift kick to El Americano's head, which in theory would hurt him more. Oh, I guess he's selling the foot. He's selling the foot because he kicked the loaded mask. I like this. This is just some old school wrestling. Not so much matches, but the use of the foreign object. Ankle lock by El Americano for angle style. Is Ray Phoenix gonna quit? Is he gonna tap out? Don't tap out, Ray. Get into the ropes, Ray Phoenix. That's another thing. I'm surprised they don't keep the name Ray Phoenix. In another era, they would not, because they already have Rey Mysterio. Roll through by Ray Phoenix, a roll up. El Americano kicks out. Ray Phoenix. Whoa. Ray Phoenix almost went for like a RKO kind of, but he his shoulder hits the loaded mask and he takes him. El Americano at the top. What's he going for? Flying headbutt with the loaded mask. I think that's it. Whoa, man. That's a bummer for me. I was really going for Ray Phoenix, but that was a fun match. Plus, he cheated. I like this gimmick. I like El Grande Americano. I like the loading the mask. It gives Ray an out. Ray got pinned by the cheating. That was a match, but I personally do think Ray Phoenix really needed to go over. I don't think El Americano is going to be hurt by a loss. I think Ray kind of is Ray Phoenix. He's the new guy, gets the momentum. I think that was kind of a wasted opportunity, but I do hope they have plans for El Grande Americano, other than just being, kind of a fun gimmick. I think you could do a lot of them with the AAA connection now. It was a really nice headbutt, though, to say that. Diving headbutt at the top. Loaded diving headbutt. I don't have anything here to load my head, my mask. Quiet. And then when they go right to the ads, soon as the match is over, Michael Cole just starts plugging some bullshit, some Xfinity Wi-Fi. Who's this? Oh, Vikings running in the ring, checking out on Ray Phoenix. Wow, you know what? I'm an AEW fan, but they're already doing more with Vikingo than AEW did. I think this is already like trying to show him as somebody important. Vikingo's a really special talent, so I would love to see more of him. Hopefully, we do. All right. Oh, there's the Miz. Now we do have the Miz on WrestleMania in a Snickers ad. A Snickers ad. Oh man. I gotta turn on my space heater. I think this time of year it'd be pretty warm, but it's freaking cold. And don't worry, folks. After I'm done, I'll shut off and unplug it. So it'll be safe down here. I plugged in my little space heater. Oh my God! More ads here. I don't agree. Says El Vikingo and WWE makes me feel ill. Makes me excited. Uh, AEW really wasted him. They had him, kind of just treated him as just some dude. Let's see. Tonight only save 35% on your orders on WWE Shop Zone. A clash in Paris, France. I see London, I see France. I see Michelle McCool's underpants. It's not a really exciting name, a clash in France. Have they ever done a pay-per-view in France? I know, not a pay-per-view. Oh, wow. All right. So, uh, Michael Cole, major announcement. This is from earlier today, I guess. WWE buying AAA. I got Penta, Rey Mysterio, Rey Phoenix, El Vikingo. WWE Worlds Collide. Interesting. That's a really famous pay-per-view back in the 90s when Worlds Collide. Maricela Pena. Wow. She looks really natural, that woman. Very natural looking person there. WWE buying AAA is weird. Yeah, it is very weird. Paul WrestleMania 2 nights is lame. Yeah, I agree. Let's see here. Mr. WrestleMania. Is this HBK? Shawn Michaels is coming out. I think they're gonna talk about the Hall of Famers now. I did not see the Hall of Fame. It came on at like 1 a.m., I guess, last night. I think it ran for like 10 hours. I think it ran until the show came on. I just saw I got the Cody Sucks Egg shirt. Now, I was selling that shirt long before WWE. I've been selling it for years, and WWE completely stole it. But I still sell them. I honestly, this no joke, I honestly believe Kevin Owens was wearing the one I made. I years ago, then I really didn't sell any because it was years ago when I made them. And then someone bought one. I thought, oh, that's cool. And then 6 days later, he had it on WWE TV. I started selling them again since then. Although, even though you can buy WWE ones, but they stole the idea from Nasty Neil, from Jackie Jones. I was selling them for years. All right. Shawn Michaels, he looks in good shape. Probably can still go. He's like, I think this will probably always be able to wrestle. I'm not saying I want him to, but he probably could if he wanted to. Got the cowboy hat on. All right. Putting over how many people here? Over 61,000 folks. All 61,000 at WrestleMania. Hit the button here. Like this, subscribe, share this out. And if you'd like to help support the channel, you can become a member for only $3. You can join one of the higher tiers to help us out. If you become a producer, you will get your name on the show. Like our good friends El Santos World, Brian Matthew Clutter, and the Lurker. We got the DX music playing. D-Generation X. It is weird to play DX. I understand they're in the Hall of Fame. It seems like they're like D-Generation X. Travis Scott. The official theme. I thought the official theme was a Weekend song. This is Fiend. Okay. Travis Scott, he's the guy who busted Cody Rhodes' eardrum. He makes bangers. In England, a banger is a sausage. Cactus Jack collection. What's that? Like a Cactus Jack shirt? That's cool. I'm a Cactus Jack fan. I'm gonna have to check that out. Craig Jolly. I don't know how many stadium shows folks have been to, but honestly, they are so much worse than a tightly packed indoor venue. Yeah, you really can't see anything. A lot of the times you're just when you're at these big shows, you're basically watching the show on like the big screen. You're paying to sit in with the audience like that, but then you're mostly watching unless you like up close, you're mostly watching the big screen like above. Dana White's getting a lot of booze. Let's see. I say that having gone to Wembley 2 years in a row, Craig Jolly. Yep, no, I would have liked to gone to those shows. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte. Now, this match is a lot of people talking about because on air they were they going into business for themselves? I don't know. Now we got some more ads. So talk about the Hall of Fame. My God. I don't care what anyone says. These ads are really a real killer. I've seen people try to spin it as it's a big positive. They're like, it's great. You don't have nonstop, wrestling. You have these nice breaks in between to help the show breathe. And it's just people bending over backwards to defend it for some reason. And I'm not this anti WWE guy, but who wants to sit here and watch 20 minutes of ads between every match? It's friggin' unbearable. If I wasn't here talking to you fine folks in the chat, I might just think, fuck it, I'll watch this later when I can fast forward over the ads. Nintendo Switch. Yeah, any company spamming ads, I'm not going to Patreon. I agree. It's very friggin' annoying. Now, all right, if they did this, let's say we had an hour or an hour and a half of, a lot of stuff going on. Then you take like a quick break. I get that. All right. And you show some ads. I don't love them, but I get it. But between every single match, it really just is not a fun flowing show. It's like a match, some ginger ale ads, Tampax ads, some ramen noodle ads. Good Lord. That's a good point, though, Nate. Have you ever watched a show? All right, so I'm watching the show and I get like 10 ads for ginger ale. Does that make me like, wow, I really want to go buy this ginger ale? Or does it make it like, fuck this ginger ale? Here's some show. I don't know. Let's just get to the fucking it's WrestleMania, assholes. Let's get back to it. Fightful said there's a genuine heat between the two. Yeah, I believe there is. Everyone has said that between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte. For what it's worth, the pre-match promo is really good. Oh, it'd be nice. I would rather watch that. I I mentioned this earlier. They haven't shown one package, like video package of why these like that would have been needed, a video package before Naomi and Jade, because I was like, I don't care about this match, but if they would have showed like a video package, why like this match happened, maybe I would've been like, "Oh, okay, now I'm into it." Coverage will resume shortly. Did my peacock go off? I think my peacock went off. I'm having a peacock, dysfunction. Alright, now it's back on. From the Allegiant Stadium. So, what's this, a Barbie? So Tiffany Stratton has, like, a Barbie entrance? So the whole Titantron's like a Barbie doll house? Alright, I think I kinda hate this woman. I've never seen her before, I'll be honest, and, I think I hate her. Yeah, this is really annoying. So, like, there's 3 of her in little boxes. Uh, I guess you didn't know which one was really her, even though only one had the belt, like, I guess you assumed, like, the one with the title was probably gonna come out, at least I did. Michael Cole was shocked. Yeah, no, yeah, of course, alright. So this match is brought to you by Mattel. One match was brought to us by vodka, one match was brought to us by, like, uh, Skittles or something, and this one's brought to us by Mattel. Let's see. Alright, here she comes, Tiffany Stratton. Now, I thought she was a babyface. She looked very heelish to me. The absolute superstar of the women's division. Look at this guy in the front row with a Naomi tank top. Lord. Alright. I've seen enough. Let's get the match going. Tiffany Stratton. I've heard of her name. I've heard of her, and I know all this backstory through in Charlotte, but, I've never seen her before. And yes, I realize I host a wrestling podcast, so my first time seeing Tiffany Stratton, and I kinda hate her. I hate the entrance. She seems very arrogant, and she's, I think, got baby face. Seems like a heel. Okay, okay, get on with the match already. Alright, here comes Charlotte. What's Charlotte gonna do? Charlotte probably get really booed. She's really hated, which you should be happy about. If you're a heel, you should be proud to get booed. Alright, so we got the second car of the evening. We got valet parking coming up like she's checking into a hotel, I guess. Rolls Royce pulls up. We got some, people coming up, opening the door. So can you buy, I guess you could buy seats right over the Titantron? I don't know if that'd be cool. I guess that's cool. I don't know. Charlotte gets out of the, very nice, interesting. So, as I mentioned, in the last match where both the wrestlers were red, we've got pink again. So both wrestlers are in pink, but Charlotte's got pink and, kind of a turquoise. Great robe. Fantastic robe by Charlotte here. It's very nice. Charlotte looks completely different in the face every time she comes back. I wonder why. I don't know. It's miraculous, I guess. Corners, so I guess, we will not see her be doing moonsaults anymore. She was heel, I guess, meaning Tiffany, but the crowd loved her, and then Charlotte showed up. But she still seems like when she came out, she was trying to be a heel, which is weird. Stratton is the company heel, but the crowd face. Yeah, I don't really know. I like a traditional babyface heel, and I get sometimes you can't control what the crowd does, but you can control how they're supposed to be presented. This is weird. This is a running theme. They both have the same colors again. So again, they could be a tag team. I don't like that. I don't like people wrestling each other in the same colors. Look at the ring announcer's jacket. He's got like this sequin jacket with like great big giant sequins on it. It looks kind of comical, honestly. One is playing Uber heel, the other is just a heel. It's heel versus Uber heel. So yeah, so the earlier match we had red and yellow on both, and this time we've got pink, blue turquoise on both. Alicia Taylor, look at that jacket! Wow, kind of an old school Bobby Heenan shirt, but it looks very cheap. Honestly, it looks like some of the sequins have fallen off. Wow, Charlotte does not even look anything like her. Charlotte in amazing shape. Whenever I don't know even how to explain their camera work here, but it is impressive. But it almost looks not real. It kind of looks like they're green screened in there, like you're watching like a 300 movie. Because like it's like very high def on the wrestlers and then like the background's blurred. It really makes it look fake. It's strange, even though they're really there. I don't really think I like it. Ring announcer is a discount Samantha Irvin. Yeah, they got some cheap looking stuff. I mean, it probably cost a lot of money, but the the Halloween spirit gear that the Viking warriors wore, that was really sad. And that jacket was looked like something I would buy. Like I personally would buy like on eBay just to be goofy, like from China or something. I probably could get a jacket like that on Temu, honestly. Yeah, look at it. They have like the exact same gear on, same hair. It's like we're watching the same. It's like when Kane wrestled Kane, or like Undertaker wrestled the fake Underfaker. Well, who thought that was a good idea? Like, let's put everyone in the same gear. I'm confused. If you want to use their former tag team and like they're wrestling like each other in similar gear. Now, people who know of DJ Curly Bear never passed. That is not something he would say about Charlotte, if you catch my drift. No ass. Tiffany, on the other hand, get some chops. Charlotte has so much, has so little ass. Her tights don't even fit. They're about ready to fall off because they're so loose. But she's got like some kind of like Jade was wearing. She's got like skin colored nylons underneath her not her whole body, just under the bottom half. Jack is right on the weird camera look. It's the depth of field and high frame rate. Yeah, it doesn't make it looks fake. It looks like if you like the movie 300 or a movie like that where the whole thing's done in a studio, like in a green screen, and everything's not real behind them. It's weird to like go out of your way to let's make the crowd look fake. I'm glad they don't show the whole match that way. One's silver, one's blue. Oh yeah, I guess. Still very, very, very similar though. all that pink. Even a similar, like, design. Alright. So, let's see, they're fighting outside the ring. Charlotte just threw, Tiffany into the ring barrier. Tiffany's, nylons are ripped. That means business. I didn't even notice it till now, but Charlotte's, her leg brace is bedazzled. Imagine if Stone Cold would have come out with, like, a bedazzled, knee brace. Pretty big knee brace, though. I'm a Charlotte fan. I think all around really good performer, good in-ring wrestler, a lot of charisma. And, charisma, in wrestling, it could be, boos or cheers, and she gets a lot of boos, but you want noise. You don't wanna come out to people just, sitting there like they don't care. I'm not a fan of those, of, like, text tattoos usually, where someone just has, like, a chunk of, like, words tattooed on their I don't think it looks good. Charlotte, kinda has, Tiffany's head between her legs. That sounds naughtier than it looks, and then, kinda pounding her face into the mat. Some of these angles, you're not really sure who's who. Kept up by Charlotte, almost fell over, though. Crowd is, booing Charlotte, not, vociferously, not quite as much as I thought they would. I thought they would, boo her a lot more, to be honest, as, they've been booing her on TV quite a bit. What's that K on the mat on the, one so I not only do they have ads all over the, mat, they've got Slim Jim, and I don't know even what an SNK is, but the turnbuckles have ads. So you got WWE right in the middle, but then, you got, like, I don't know, Dollar General or something on the one, and then, the other one's just got a K, I don't know what that is. Is that Circle K? And, something, a Prime energy drink. Now, if you bought, ads on the other turnbuckles that are towards the camera, you really wasted your money because the camera never sees them. We saw them there, General. Alright. Gymnastic background, alright. I thought, that was a bad thing in wrestling. People always hate gymnasts, like, "Oh, that's just a gymnast." We had the very overused move, the old, Great Muta cartwheel into the elbow into the corner. There was a time where all the women did that move. Let's see, SNK is a video game company, okay. I joke about, like, playing, Dig Dug stuff, but I really haven't played video games since N64. It is when I quit. Like Ocarina of Time, I think was one of the last games it was probably the last game I beat, or one of the last games I bought. I'm not bragging or nothing. I just don't know about the video games. Charlotte's going to the top rope. Is she gonna get thrown off like her daddy Rick? I believe so. Tiffany carries her off the top rope. Does a rolling senton, kind of like a rolling fireman's carry. Springboard. A lot of people do a lot of the same moves. I notice. Springboard, uh, moonsault. Charlotte in the corner does the flip around, kind of like her dad Rick, and I believe Harley Race used to do that. And roll up. This is fine, but I assume this will get more heated as we go on. The bigger the beating that Tiffany Stratton gives. That was something that I was gonna say Brad Garrett. Bad News Brown. Bad News Brown. Bad News Barrett just said, I'm getting tired. Sorry if this is not the most riveting commentary, but not the most riveting show, to be honest. All right, so let's see. Who do you guys want to win this? I'm probably in the minority, but I want Charlotte to win. I like Charlotte. I know most people just like really hate Charlotte now. I've always enjoyed her. I always thought she was really talented. I remember when she was feuding with Sasha Banks, like I thought that was some of the best things in WWE. Who's the favorite to win in the betting? Anyone here bet on these shows? I know you can bet on them. I was gonna look it up, but I don't even really know how to look. I think I might go to sleep. No, I'm not gonna go to sleep. I do have to get up early. I'm going out for Easter lunch with my mom. And then I'm heading up to Boston. I'm gonna be filming a movie. I'm gonna be filming Our Man Funk. I play Truett, the mob. Be playing a mob. What you guys think about that? Nasty. I thought they're talking to me. Nasty deal. So I'm not sure if I'll be home for In Your Head this week. I should be home for Without Your Head Thursday. Kicked by Charlotte in the face. So what's the main event on this? The main event on this one is CM Punk match. CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. No title or nothing really at stake at all, is there? They're just wrestling because they're just wrestling because their names. Power bomb by Charlotte. Betting on wrestling. I just remember the story of some J Brone betting thousands on Taker beating Brock. Yeah, they take bets. I've never bet on wrestling. Nate G co-chose a betting show and he covered some odds. Charlotte was the favorite. Okay. I think after this match, I'm gonna go pick up a coffee. There'll be plenty of that, and I'll play a clip of an old interview so you guys can stay here and I'll be back. How long? Might not be too many matches left. So we've got the what's left on this show. The main event. It's just weird. Like, do you think there'll be any surprises in that match? Who's like a surprise to come out for that CM Punk? I don't know. I mean, you could always do something with Paul Heyman. He turns on somebody or whatever. What other matches are there? Might be only one more after this. I don't know. All right. Let's see here. WrestleMania Night 1. CM Punk. Yeah, I think there's only one other match. Do they tell you the matches be like when people were buying tickets? It just seems like you assume what was on night 1 and 2. Let's see. The planned match order for tonight's WrestleMania. They were right about the opening match. I think they were right about all these. So after this, they're supposed to show the Hall of Fame highlights and then the Punk match. Yes, only one more match left after this. Hit the like buttons, you fool! Subscribe, become a member if you like, send in a super chat. This is just night 1. This has been on 6 hours, it says. Well, there must have been a pre-show. Get some weak backbreaker thing there by Charlotte. All right. So Charlotte's going to the top rope. Yeah, I wouldn't think she'd be doing so much top rope stuff with that giant knee brace. Nice cross body block, honestly. Roll through by Tiffany Stratton. You don't really honestly see it as kind of old school cross body block, kind of a very Ricky Steamboat esque. People are always so worried about doing like ultra flips and 720s and stuff, but if you just do like a dive really well like that, I don't know. I think it's more impactful, more for me anyway. But I'm not a youngin. Doesn't Brock have lots of issues with the? Yeah, he's been named in it. Um, yeah, I don't see him coming back right away. But who knows? I wouldn't think they would bring back anybody that was named in that lawsuit until it's over with. So now Tiffany, excuse me, Tiffany is smashing the hurt leg into the mat. Charlotte goes for. I was a little confused there because Charlotte was getting her leg smashed, and then Charlotte went for the pin. Now this might be just because I'm not really invested in this feud because the match seems pretty good, but I just don't really care that much. That's actually really cool. American Nightmare of baseball jersey in the crowd. I like that. I think Charlotte should just wear more pants instead of wearing the really skimpy gear with the kind of baggy nylon stuff. It looks weird. It makes her ass look even like weird, more weird than it. It's very small. Let's see. Hoping Rusev answers the Orton. Oh yeah, is that tonight? The Orton thing? Was the Orton or is that going to be night 2? I'm a big Rusev fan. I do personally think he's hard to get along with. That's just my assumption from how he's been treated the last 2 companies he's been with. But as just as a fan, I'm a big fan of his. I think he's a guy that's really good at all. He's got presence. He can talk. He's a really good wrestler. And he could do comedy and be serious, which not everyone can. Some people are good at one or the other, and I don't think his comedy stuff takes away from him being serious. So I'm really hoping he does something here. I did think it's funny that Lana was signed to a Legends contract. I like Lana, and I get it. People are gonna yell at me like, "Oh, they just did that so they can make fake." That's good. But just the idea of that Lana is signed to a Legends contract, I think is kind of funny. Maybe a Hall of Fame induction. Lana. Another springboard move. I've seen a lot of springboard moonsaults tonight. It's like the new move. That's pretty good though. So springboard moonsault. Charlotte gets the knees up, but that hurts her own knee because she's got the bad knee. I think that's good psychology there. Then she rolls up Tiffany, gets a 2 count. I think Tiffany wins this. Although if they're going with the angle I was saying, you might want Charlotte. I think they're gonna have every title change until the Cody match. I think it's just one match left. Craig Jolly and Nate G thinks that the Orton thing is tomorrow, and he is a huge Rusev guy too. Good, yeah, I'm a big Rusev fan. Rusev Day was legit, like the most over thing at the time, and I kept hoping for his AEW run. There was a couple when he was TNT champ. I thought that was really good. Honestly, I liked all the stuff he's doing except for the initial stuff, the best man stuff. That was horrendous. I like the last few he's doing too. They're just like it was just like vignettes of him, and then like and he showed up like once. I hated the stuff with Lana, like managing other people, stuff that was worthless. The Natural Selection. That's a cool name. All right. Oh, this match is really getting the crowd into it, I think. I do think the crowd's not really well mic'd because when they show the replays, they sound much louder. But during the match itself, I don't really hear them very much. But I just think it's more the miking. Because then when they show the replays, like you really hear them. It's a Macho Man, Black Machismo, I guess, in the front row. Charlotte going for figure 4. Tiffany rolls her up. They're rolling through that. Went for something, but it didn't really work out. Now going for body slam. This is kind of mumbled here. That was kind of it wasn't a botch, but it really didn't look so great. Charlotte went kind of her spear and just ran head first the turnbuckle. Honestly, it did not look good for your neck. Let's see, Tiffany. Whoa, that was bot. Tiffany went for kind of the Alabama slam into the corner, but it didn't work. Charlotte like landed on her feet. Tiffany going for the fireman's carry, roll through. I don't know. I think this match is going a little too long now. Another springboard moonsault. I've seen this match now like 12 times tonight for the win. Wow. That match, that end just was really, really flat. Very flat end. That was the end? Didn't she do that move like 8 times already? Huh. Oh yeah, I think you're right, Nate. I think she chipped her front tooth, Tiffany. But the match was fine, but the end was very, very flat. Am I the only one who thought that? Yeah, Craig, I agree. Like that, you can't really hear the crowd. But then when they show the replays, listen, it sounds completely different. Oh man, I don't know. I didn't really think much of the match was fine, but then the finish was just kind of just happened. Pretty flat finish, I think. We had the roll through and then the springboard moonsault, which I've seen like honestly like 8 times tonight already, and then it was in multiple matches, people doing the same thing, and then the pin. That's another thing people talk about, and I agree with them. They'll say like in AEW, if you're doing some big spot, like other people shouldn't do it. Someone shouldn't be doing your finish in other matches on the same show. WrestleMania think they've got all these producers. We wouldn't have seen like the springboard moonsault multiple times tonight, and then it's the finish in this big match. So that was the first title match where the champion retained. So there goes my theory, which I don't think the commentators really mentioned. I think they should have really been like, wow, the odds are tonight that Charlotte's going to walk out the title because there's been all these title changes. Sinners, I was going to go see that this weekend. I'm going to film a movie. I might see it next week. I think it looks good. All right. I'm going to go and get a cup of coffee before the main event. This looks good, Sinners. I'm going to play a quick. I've had some issues here with the. All right, let's see here. All right, I'm going to play Scott Hall, a little bit of a Scott Hall interview while I make a cup of coffee. I'll be back for the main event. All right, don't go anywhere.
This is Larry Zbyszko, wrestling's living legend, and if you want to know what's going on in the wrestling business, you check out InYourHeadOnline.com.
Speaking of which, man, I got kind of a 2-part question on you, man, if that's all right. I heard at the beginning of the show, I heard you talking about the HBK ladder match, all right? Well, I popped in this DVD. They're talking about the match, and they're talking about they didn't need nobody else in the ring. It was just Scott and the ladder the whole time. It was really disrespected you in my eyes, man.
Well, that's what
You know what? You know what really made me feel
I know it
good
was a Scott. It was DiBiase, man. You know?
Yeah, no, actually, it was Triple H talking about something Flair said. Because believe me, it hurt my feelings too. And one of the highest compliments I ever had in this business. And you got to remember, when I first started working with Shawn Michaels, you know, first I came in as a heel. Ray's a heel, Shawn's a heel, and we're making all the towns together and we're rocking it. Then Vince being the smart guy Vince is, and Pat Patterson booking stuff. Madison Square Garden one time, they booked Razor versus Shawn, and we're both heels, but Shawn's the Intercontinental champ. So it's a heel match, which is tougher than a babyface match. They put us in there, and I assume, because Shawn's like a little pretty boy, and Razor was more of like a badass, I'm assuming that people are going to be with Shawn. And he and I are in the locker room talking this shit over. We figured we're just going to do our shit and let the fans figure out what they want. But in the back, Shawn goes, look, if they come with you, act surprised. I'll never forget Shawn go, listen, if they start coming with you, if the fans start digging you, look around and act like surprised and go, well, fuck it. I don't really care what you think because I'm still a heel. But the thing is, okay, and that was the beginning of me and Shawn. I wrestled Shawn every day, every night for almost 3 years. And you're talking 25, 27 days a month. So we had WrestleMania 10, we had a ladder match. Okay, months later, SummerSlam in Pittsburgh, we had the rematch. You know, a second ladder match. And this time, Shawn put me over at WrestleMania 10. Now we're having the rematch at SummerSlam. Now, at this time, though, Shawn and at that time, Diesel, Kevin Nash, they're making all the publicity. They're going to Kathy, and back then it was Regis and Kathy Lee. I mean, they're making all the time. They're doing all the publicity, all the stuff. So they go into Pittsburgh, and they are completely drained. They are wiped out. So I get in a ring with Shawn, and it's the first time, just out of respect, because when I broke in, the heels called the matches. The heel called the match. The babyface didn't say a word. And so we're still doing that. And now, my eyes. The way I look at it now is whoever knows what's going on calls it. But I'll never forget being in the ring with Shawn, and Shawn looked at me and went, "Where are we?" And I started calling the match. And I'll never forget coming back in the locker room. It's one of the highlights of my career, and I'm going to say it now, and I hope Shawn hears this, is that we're in the locker room afterwards, and I think Vince had a private. We had our own dressing room. The Clique had their own dressing room. And we come back, and I go, "Hey, thanks, brother. Thanks, Shawn." And he goes, I said, I'm sorry for calling. He looks at me and goes, "You're the only one who doesn't think you're my equal." And that's exactly what he said word for word, because I never forgot that. It was one of the biggest moments of my career. Screw the Hall of Fame, screw a bunch of bogus belts that don't mean shit and all that kind of stuff. For me to have one of my friends, one of my coworkers, look me in the eye and go, and Shawn is the best worker ever. Shawn is the best of all time. For him to look me in the eye and go, "You don't think you're my equal." I mean, it made me feel good. Plus, I'm insecure. I think a lot of people who are drawn to entertainment and stuff are insecure. Like Scott Hall, the guy is like, "Man, my life's falling apart." Scott Hall, the fake-ass wrestler, man, hit that ring music. How you doing better than you? I mean, I think that's why a lot of people are drawn to that kind of thing. And I know that's probably why I am.
Man, you stole that show that night, man, in my eyes. But my good part of the question, man, I didn't get to spit it out last time we talked. I asked you how you felt about the Clique. I want to know how you feel about the Clique these days.
They're my boys. I love them. I mean, it's never changed. I mean, just like I hadn't seen Sid in a long time. But when you have a connection with somebody and when you're really tight with someone, when you make that connection it's basically a foxhole environment. I mean, Vince worked us so hard. You know, we worked so much. And don't get me wrong, nobody had a gun to my head going, "You have to go on the road for 25 days a month." I was going, "No, please let me do it. Please let me have this push." So don't take, I ain't asking for no sympathy. I'm digging it. I want to be there. But the thing is, it's like,
hey, man.
And I ain't been around a Clique in a while. I ain't been around Sid in a while. We picked off where we left off. Just like I will when I see Shawn again. Just like I will when I see Triple H. Just like I have with Kid. Kid called me the other day. Kid called me from Mexico City. Kid lives in Mexico City. He called me the other day, and he's talking on the phone, and you're like, "Scott," and I go, "Yeah, hello." And he goes, "You don't know who this is, do you?" And I went, "No, I don't." And he goes, "It's Kid." I went, "Oh my God." I mean, he's grown up. Like, his voice got deep. It's like, "Oh my God, Kid grew up."
Hey,
So, I mean, and I see Kev all the time. I mean, Kev lives 30 from my house to Kev's house is 31 miles front door to front door. So I stay in touch with Kev all the time. I mean, the click still rules wrestling. I mean, if we ever decide to take over wrestling, we will. Again, I think people would pay to see Kevin Nash and Scott Hall versus HBK and Triple H.
Oh,
I think NWO versus DX would still draw money today. If you put that underneath Sid versus John Cena on WrestleMania or something like that, I think you'd sell out the world.
Sid versus Batista, Battle of the Power Bombs.
Sid versus Batista, Sid versus anybody. Because Sid's going to be the babyface against anybody he faces.
Yeah.
You put Sid against John Cena, they're going to boo Cena out of the building. And no disrespect to Cena. I met his father the other day at this little spot show I did in Connecticut or somewhere in Massachusetts. This guy's a great guy.
Oh,
we blowing the spot show before I signed autographs the next day in Hartford. So the guys put the show together just so they could afford me. And I go in, and there's the guy in a suit, old gentleman, because in the wrestling business, there's a lot of handshake and a lot of hugging going on. You walk in, you're going to shake everybody. In the locker room, you're going to shake a million hands, you're going to hug everybody. So I walk in, and the guy goes, I walk by, hey, how you doing? We're a little bit late, how you doing? The guy goes, how you doing, John Cena? And I walk by, but in my mind, I'm going, wow, good name, bro. Good choice of name, John Cena. Not bad, because there's a dude doing really good with that name. So later on, I registered with the guy. What did that man say, John Cena? I went back over and I said, excuse me, sir, because he's really a gentleman. I went back over and said, excuse me, sir. I said, I'm Scott Hall. I said, I have never had the pleasure of meeting your son, but wow, he's doing good, and good for you, and you must have raised him right. You and your wife did a great job with him, and I was involved in that match. At the end, it was sweet. Me and Terry Funk and Mr. Cena and blah, 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 and just incredible, and it was a blast.
He for years I had seen him as Johnny Fabulous. Here he does a lot of.
That's his gimmick name. But in the back, when you meet people, even when I was doing a Razor gimmick, I never walked up and said, "Hi, I'm Razor." I said, "I'm Scott." My mom didn't name me Razor. If I meet you in the back, I'm Scott. When I step through the curtains, I'm Razor. Yeah, his gimmick name, he was Johnny Fabulous. But he's I can't imagine it because he's such a class act. I can't imagine. See, I'm the kind of guy, if he said, I'm Johnny Fabulous, I would have said, I'm Razor. He said, I'm John Cena. I said, how are you doing, sir? I'm Scott Hall,
But he's an excellent, old school manager on the indies around here.
He was great.
Yeah.
He was great. And I tell you what, we rocked it that night. They did a thing. They did this finish where they brought me to the ring. I interfered at the finish. So I said, look, we can do this two ways. We can do it like shoot, or we can do a showbiz. I said, I vote for showbiz. So we did a thing where everybody's down. Terry Funk's on the outside with Johnny Fabulous. The babyface is down. The heel in the ring goes to the top ropes like, yay. And I said, then hit the NWO music. So they hit that music, wow, 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 wow. And then they have a cop car, a big, unmarked SUV with the windows just tinted solid black. I'm in a cop car, and I want to go on record as saying it's way more fun riding in the front of a cop car than in the back of a car. Because you can get out when you want to. This dude goes a whoop, 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 with the siren, pulls up a light flash. They pull me out up to the ring, and I get out like, woo, woo. And then hit the dude with my finish. It was sweet.
Now,
Hey, all right, I'm back here once again. Eating an apple. All right. So they just showed the Hall of Famers, the family of Earthquake, Wayne Typhoon, Michelle McCool, and then Triple H has to really take over the whole thing. It is funny. Look, I am no Vince McMahon fan, but Vince would never want people to thank him at the Hall of Fame or anything. But Triple H, he's like, I want the glory here. be the biggest star of the Hall of Fame. Yeah. Not that he doesn't deserve it, don't get me wrong, but it is strange when you are the, guy running the show. So, I'm just back for in time for, some kinda ad, Yellowstone. Alright. So coming up next is the main event time. CM Punk. Now, I've been a lifelong CM Punk fan. People don't know. You know, from Indies, Ring of Honor, WWE, AEW, back to WWE. I was sad how things turned out in AEW. I was, disappointed on his initial return to WWE. Not his initial return, I thought that was pretty amazing. The first promo when he talked about being home. As a lifetime fan of the guy and knowing how he, like, bashed the company for 10 years and how he left and everything, I was like, "Really, man?" But all that said, I'm a huge fan. One of my favorites, one of the best promo guys in wrestling. A guy really brings drama to his matches. All that said, so big fan. Roman Reigns, also a big fan. When, the Shield came in, you looking back, you're like, "Wow, this really" if it wasn't for the Shield, where would wrestling be, this, years later? Because Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Jon Moxley went on to become, world champions. And then Roman Reigns, one of the only guys I think would have been able to pull off being champ for years like he did. Seth Rollins, super talented guy. Can't say I'm a big fan of the current when he wears like the weird clothes. I just don't really understand what the gimmick's supposed to be. But amazing talent, can be a great promo guy when given, something good to talk about. And a great wrestler, just a great wrestler. So this should be fantastic. I do like the idea of Paul Heyman using the real life that most people know about how CM Punk always wanted his WrestleMania main event, wanted his WrestleMania moment. So that's how he gets him to do the match. I'm gonna promise you the moments. I like that. All that being said, besides first of all, how does Paul Heyman get this to be the main event? And besides that, they're just 3 big names, and we're kinda like they didn't have a singles match, so this match came about. Like, why would it be the main event? Why wouldn't it be Jey Uso and Gunther? Besides the fact that this is a bigger match, why wouldn't the other one be the main event when it's for the title? That's not a storyline isn't like, these guys are bigger names, so they're in the main event. Uh, they don't just bill it as if you win the Royal Rumble, you get a title shot. They bill it as if you win the Royal Rumble, you main event WrestleMania, so they shouldn't do that anymore. So that part doesn't sit easy with me. I'm old school wrestling fan. Do you think the main event should be the title match? But this should be good. I'm looking forward to it. I can't imagine it not being good. After everything we've seen, I can't imagine it not being the best match on the show. If it's not, this has been a dud, really. I mean, not a dud, but nothing that sucked or nothing, but there's been nothing that I would say you must go out of your way to see on this. Nothing. So, all right. So Seth Rollins is coming out, and I don't know what he's wearing, like a blow up like suit or something. What is he wearing? He's got a flamethrower. I like the flamethrower. He's got it's like a graduation gown with a giant hood on it for some reason. Is this like a fireproof suit or something? I don't get it. I don't understand. The flamethrower is cool. Burn it down. Must be like a flame retardant suit or something. They look real goofy. Lights are out now. They're probably like, we got to get the fire flamethrower out of here. Got to get over to Darby Allin. Now he's in a shiny suit. I don't know, man. So it's like you come out in this giant flame retardant suit that you have to quickly take off with the lights off so you can get into your other gear. Kind of goofy. I can't say I'm a big fan of that. If you can't just come out with the flamethrower with the gear you're gonna wrestle or come to the ring with, just don't do it. That's my take, and I'm sticking to it. Now, this gear I like. It's not so goofy where it's just like, what the hell he's wearing. It's just a cool silvery robe deal with matching sunglasses with what's on the glasses? Is this like Jesus? Oh my god. So we're on Easter. Tomorrow's Easter. Is he wearing like thorn sunglasses? So he's got his crown of thorn sunglasses on. Again, if this was an AEW, I remember they did a match around Easter where someone bled, and like I remember even my co-host was freaking out saying it was too close to Easter, but this is okay, I guess. Thorn, I think it's a crown of thorn sunglasses the day before Easter. Do I care? No, I don't care. It makes me laugh, honestly. Would have I would have just went all out if you're gonna do that. Come out with like they should have had him like crucified on a cross. Fuck it. They're not gonna bring attention to that, are they? I'm pretty sure they're a crown of thorn sunglasses. Seth is great. What he's wearing isn't dumb. No, it's not. No. I like this. He usually does have something that looks really goofy. I don't like the big. I thought that big robe was just something he was wearing, but it must have been a flame retardant thing. That did look stupid, honestly. Craig Jolly, the popularity of Seth Rollins post Shield has totally passed me by. I agree. I think he's really good wrestler. I will never deny that, but I don't really understand. I don't get the gimmick when he wears like just the real stupid ass shit. Yeah, it's a crown of thorns. Crown of thorns sunglasses. The day before Easter. Again, I feel like this is if something if AEW did this, people would be up in arms. Like kick it off TBS, kick it off Turner. All right, so we got Roman Reigns coming out. What's Roman gonna do? Got the old Shield logo that he wore, I believe. Is he wearing the Ufala? Is that what what do they call that thing? It's like the tribal luau thing, the Ufalafa. Looks like a bunch of like red peppers. So he's just I don't know, he's just wearing like gym pants or something. Very not really anything so far for his ring entrance. Just Roman Reigns. He's got a bunch of peppers around his neck. Wearing just some pants from the gym. He doesn't have the Thanos glove on. This match is going to be great. I don't know how you're not excited. I think it'll be good. I like that in the background. We've got the different family members. You get Rikishi, Yokozuna, Wild Samoans, High Chief Peter Maivia. I don't think The Rock was in there. Are we not going to see The Rock on WrestleMania? It's really weird because He's a big part of last year, and they did really heavily hint that he would the next year wrestle Cody or Roman. And then they did the big turn where joined with The Rock, and then there was no mention of him since. And I guess he's not going to even be on the show. All right. Roman Reigns. Just a fairly simple entrance, but a nice one. I like the showing all the bloodline. He's got a bunch of hot peppers around his neck. Wasn't as over the top as the flamethrower. The Anoa'i dynasty. Yeah, that's super cool. I like it. Okay, so I believe that Living Color is gonna be playing CM Punk to the ring, which I'm excited about. Big fan of Punk and big fan of Living Color. Big fan of the song prior to CM Punk. Rock could appear. Yeah, he could appear. We'll find out. If he does appear, though, I do think he'll be on night 2 for the Cody match, Cody Cena match. This is really this match is gonna make it one. So if this doesn't live up to the hype, night 1's gonna be a major disappointment. If this is amazing, then I still don't think it'll be considered a fantastic night 1. But the main event, I always think a show is defined by the main event. So if you have a great main event, you remember it being a great show. If you have a bad main event, you do remember it being not a great show. But hasn't been a lot of memorable stuff on this show. Not really anything bad, just not memorable, I would say. So this unless something really goes wrong, this should be the highlight of night 1. All right. Really milking the entrance. No Paul Heyman. Then we get this stupid bullshit. So you get this really dramatic ring entrance, and then you get Cole talking about superstar power and Wi-Fi. How can that not just take you out of it, though? You're like, all right, I'm pumped. Roman Reigns out here showing all the family. And then Michael's like, I'm the wife. This match is brought to you by JoJo's Wi-Fi. The UFO office brought to you by Billy Bob's Wi-Fi. All right. Oh, we've got a video package. Yeah. All right, here we go. Video package here of CM Punk. Wow. I love it. I'm a big Punk fan. I too am straight edge. I love this. They're showing people not watching it. You got Punk from, probably almost 20 years ago, 12 years ago, cutting a promo, introducing himself, showing stuff from OVW, and then it's intercut with him today. An older man, a grayer man, a man who's lived life, and saying the same stuff, but it's cutting back and forth. I love it. This is good. All these years, he's finally getting the big main event. It might be too bad it's not for the title. I think the main event should be for the title, but it's happening. Should be title. A lot of these highlights of the title, the Summer of Punk. I get it's Jey Uso's time. Main event, all this hype, all this build. This should be for the title. You got 2 titles. So we got old school punk music. I'm sure we're gonna cut into Cult of Personality here. So I like this. I really, again, wish they would have done a video package for each of the matches, especially for WrestleMania. Makes them feel more important. Also, you can understand if there's like a feud, what the deal is. All right, that might have been the highlight of the WrestleMania so far for me. I really like that video package showing Punk. Then now him finally getting the main event WrestleMania. And here we go. Yeah, living colors here. Live. Gonna be playing CM Punk to the ring. All right, I got to admit, Nate, I'm into it now. I'm excited now. Let's do it up. I'm 100% behind Punk. For me, I really want Punk to win. I want Punk to win. What do you see? Cult of Personality. Such a great song, and a great song for him to pick because it fits the character if he's heel or babyface. Because the song can mean, different things with him as heel or babyface. The lyrics probably, if you were just going by the lyrics, probably do fit heel better. So this is a great moment. CM Punk coming out with Paul Heyman, got hoodie on. Cult of Personality playing by Living Color to the Ring, live and in person. They know the lyrics, unlike, nothing against a great Lemmy, but I remember when he sang Triple H to the ring and didn't remember him. Look at that. I love it. Getting a selfie, lead singer Living Color got a selfie with him and Punk. I really like Living Color's jacket. That's something I would wear. All right. This is the first, okay, we're at WrestleMania now. It's the first time I really felt it. Paul Heyman's really getting into it. Paul Heyman as a baby face is odd. He kisses Punk on the head. A Paul Heyman fan. I'm a giant Paul Heyman fan. People don't know he was going to be on In Your Head several times. We used to be in contact with email until he came back to WWE. Before he went, this was years ago, like 2010 or maybe even before that, 2008, 2009. So yeah, big CM Punk fan, big I like that Cactus Jack shirt. Just a big Paul Heyman fan. I always used to say it was always a battle for who's the second best manager because no one's better than Bobby Heenan. You could argue, Jim Cornette's the second best. You could argue Paulie Dangerously is the second best, Jimmy Hart, whoever. But I think there's a real argument now for Paul Heyman. I mean, going on 4 decades, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s, where he's been not only just a manager, but a significant part of the wrestling business. Paulie Dangerous in the 80s. In a lot of ways, that's probably the weakest run, even though there's good stuff. 90s, I think overlooked part, I think the Dangerous Alliance, I thought that was a real highlight of kind of the down period of wrestling, but I loved it. But then obviously the Paul Heyman stuff in ECW, that really revolutionary for wrestling business. One of the most influential things ever to happen for both companies. Changed really wrestling itself for good and bad. And then the 2000s and 2010s as the Paul Heyman we see today. Not many people had managed that long and stayed that relevant. Nothing against Jimmy Hart, but after probably into the 90s, it was kind of like he's fun, but he's not not a main event guy or nothing. But that's nothing against him. It's just very rare for anyone to stay this relevant for over so many decades in the wrestling business in any capacity. So, a few seems like a few years ago, but long ago it probably was when we had like the end of an era when it's Triple H versus Undertaker, and you had Shawn Michaels involved. In many ways, this is getting that same level because these are three guys that don't have Roman isn't a full time wrestler anymore. And if I understand, this is his last contract. Does he renew? I don't know. But either way, his time as a full time guy are gone. As much as I love Punk, I mean, there's just we've already seen his body's been breaking down the last few years. Gets hurts a lot, so how much time's left? And Rollins is who knows, he could go on for longer too. But either way, it's we don't know how much longer we'll see of these three guys. So if I think everyone knows I'm going with for Punk. If not Punk, I would say Reigns. Rollins is my third. I know some people in the chat here that's their guy, but for me, it's definitely Punk. So you never know with Paul. I assume he'll turn at some point on. Will he turn on Punk and go with one of the guys in here? He's never been with Seth Rollins, or does he turn on him and the new Paul Heyman protege comes out? I don't know. Fun fact: Jim Johnson wrote the game for Motorhead. Crowd select these AC match like this kind of warrants cheering for everybody. I get you like we hate this guy, we love this guy, but I think this match is a little different. So I do think this is a different scenario. But I get it. It's not like we really want to see this guy win. We want to see this guy lose. It's more like we just want to see the match. But I get it in this one, to be honest. Some stuff here. Let's see. Seth dressed like Rock. Seth is dressed like The Rock. I don't really see that. Craig, for fuck's sake, the entrance is longer than the last match. I don't mind it here. I think it's warranted here. These are three big names, and it added it since it's not for a title. I think having the long entrances and showing some drama really actually adds to the match. So I actually have no issue so far with this match. The way it was presented, I just I wish there was a title involved, but that's not going to happen. So. But the presentation, nothing, no negatives for me. In fact, it's really the first time for night one that I felt like this is really WrestleMania now. All right, so we got Michael Cole said that I like that line, proving you're the best of a generation. So we got Roman Reigns beating up Punk outside. No, to play devil's advocate as a Punk fan. For years, Punk used to complain that he wanted the main event WrestleMania for the title, but then like the older part timers would take his place, and you could argue he's become that. It should be Gunther and Jey Uso becoming. It should have the title. Should have had the main event spot since it was for the title. But instead, Roman Reigns, a part-time guy, and CM Punk, an older guy, got the spot. In fact, I do think that would be a good thing to use. If you go full-blown heel with Punk, which would be hard, honestly, right now. But if you did, that would be a good thing for Jey Uso to use. You'd be like, I'm the main event Jey Uso. I should have been the main event. Or, I don't think I would turn Jey Uso heel. But he should have been the main event, and now Punk has become the thing he hates. He's the guy that now takes the the rightful owner's spot in the main event. Not necessarily that I believe that, but I think that would be good, and there would be like some realism to it. Punk in really good shape. Punk's never going to be like super jacked too, but in really good shape. Kind of macho man double axe handle outside the ring on Seth. You never really think this until you see real old pictures of Seth. Seth used to be pretty jacked. I don't really care. I don't care about that so much, but just something I noticed. I'd rather the guys be healthy and entertaining. So some trash outside, some plunder outside the ring. Again, this is stuff that would be hated in AEW. It probably won't be here. And I get it wasn't in a lot of the other matches, so there is a little bit of difference there. But crowd fighting outside. You got the Rom beating up Punk with the trash can. Is that real trash? No. They shouldn't have showed the inside. It's clearly just like some clear plastic stuff that someone threw in there. You think you could just like fix some trash better. Let's see. CM Punk with the suplex onto Seth Rollins onto the trash can outside the ring. Did you say that this is Rock gear? I don't really see that. I don't think anything that Rollins is wearing would be something The Rock ever wore. CM Punk chants. I should have worn my CM Punk hat. Some more in your head hat. I should some more of these made, these patches. Sell them, or I could. This is hand sewn. You want a hand sewn Jackie Jones hat? Roman Reigns with a dive. I'm not a big fan of multi-man matches. I used to like him in ECW because they would really go out of their way to incorporate everybody in the matches, which was fun. But in WWE, they usually are like we just seen the two guys are wrestling, and Roman was just kind of like selling that he was beat up or something. That's usually how they are in WWE. So now we're probably going to see Punk and Roman fight each other for a little while, and then Rollins will be hurt, or one of the other guys. Somebody will be like laying there for a while, and the other two guys will wrestle. They always got to get some Prime in there. I don't know if I've ever had a Prime. I may have. I'm not sure. By the way, thanks to our producers here, El Santos, World Prime, Clutter, and Lurker. If you'd like to membership starts at $3 a month. You can produce for $10 a month, and you'll get your name on the show. I'm thinking about doing some virtual training cards for In Your Head fans for people who donate every month and change them up each month. I don't know. We'll look into it. I do them for Without Your Head, and they've been a hit. So. All right. So Roman Reigns here. Now he's cleaning house, beating everybody up. Oh, he's got the giant bottle of Prime. He hit Seth Rollins with the giant bottle of Prime. Very vicious weapon. All right. So let's see. Roman's beating up Punk. If people don't know, I don't know if I'll be here Tuesday for In Your Head. If I'm not, I will do a show sometime during the week, maybe after Dynamite, but I'm not sure I'll be home then either. But I'll be filming a movie. I'm leaving tomorrow night. So sorry we'll not be able to do this for night 2. So let's see. Samoan drop by Roman Reigns. Just a straight up Samoan drop. Seth Rollins with a springboard and then a punch out of the air by Roman Reigns. Very, very white teeth. There's. I remember back in the day, the dentist wouldn't give you like ultra white teeth because they didn't look natural. They'd always be like partly off white. But now they just give you just the fakest looking white teeth you could get. Let's see. Roman Reigns going for Superman punch. Punk reversed it to a swinging neck breaker. Again, I don't know. I don't know if it's just mine, but the crowd's not Mike well because you could see them all up on they're all standing, the whole crowd. Every once in a while you hear a little bit, but I just don't think they're well mic'd. High knee from CM Punk on the Reigns, spinning leg kick onto Seth Rollins. I'm glad that Punk didn't back in the day, Vince hated anyone with a little gray. And I think the gray and the salt and pepper beard looks good on Punk. So I'm glad he kept it. Big knee on Rollins in the corner. I think he's going to do one now on Roman Reigns. A little thigh slap by CM Punk. Again, will not be mentioned by the folks who will mention it for everybody else. Swinging neck breaker on Roman Reigns and a DDT on Rollins at the same time. Rollins with a nice sell in the DDT. Similar to the RVD where he kind of bounced off the head. Always a fan of that. Punk runs like an old guy. Yeah, he seems fine to me. I like that's beauty of wrestling is in a other sport, your heroes come back and do anything. So you're not going to be watching the NBA finals and Larry Bird walks out on the court for one more game. It's just not going to happen. John Elway is not going to come and play the Super Bowl for the Broncos. It's just not going to happen. Wayne Gretzky's not going to come back for another year. But in wrestling, the legends can. So, Punk can come back for another run. We had Sting, into his 60s out there. It's good stuff. It's fun. Let's see. CM Punk going up to the top rope. Rollins going for the superplex. That's an overused move, really, superplex. I mean, it looks cool, but boy, it's been used a lot tonight. Let's see. Roman Reigns got I think we're gonna get see a Doomsday device. Roman Reigns, yeah, Doomsday device. Roman Reigns had Rollins up, CM Punk with the clothesline. And they did the old school Doomsday device where he actually doesn't take the bump with him, but he flips him. That's a much more dangerous version. Superman punch by Roman Reigns. Punk kicks out. Superplex will never get old. Yeah, I mean, I do like it a lot. It is weird. I remember, being a kid and at the time, Bob Orton was the only the superplex. It was like, holy fuck, a superplex. Even a better thing to say, the moonsault. When it's hard to explain how insane the moonsault was when Muta was doing it as a finisher because no one else was doing it. It was fantastic. That and the Frankensteiner. I know other people did it in Mexico, whatever, but not the same way Scott Steiner. And it was fucking just when he did that, I was like, oh my fucking god. Going for the GTS. As much as I like Punk, I'm not a fan of the GTS because every once in a while, I'd say 8 out of 10 times it does not look really good. We got all right. Now, as much as I like Punk, if Punk's just stand there punching it out with Reigns, I would think Reigns would probably beat the fuck out of him. But what do I know? The Rock Bottom by Punk. I'm sure that wasn't done on accident. And a con device on Roman. Are we gonna get a tap out already? It'll be last, but it just ends out of nowhere. Michael likes the GTS. I don't know. Punk misses it quite often. I think Punk misses it more than he hits it. But I do agree about them buying a it's not gonna be good. Frog Splash, yeah, Frog Splash too. Oh, no, we just so you're a little ahead of me. We just got the Frog Splash by Seth Rollins. I thought that was a 3 count. Must not have been. Seth Free oh, it's the first time they referred to him as Seth freaking Rollins for a while. Pat McAfee might not have got the memo that he's no longer freaking. Whoa! Earlier someone said about the lei. I know what a lei is, but they have a specific term for the one that, Roman wears. They call it, like, the Oofalafa or something. It's the Moofalafa! I remember for a while that was, like, it was, like, bigger than the title, like, "He's got the Moofa. Seth Rollins beating up on, CM Punk's got a little bit of a bald spot there. Bucko Bomb. Hope he doesn't end up like Sting and retired for 2 years. I don't know, he might be hurt. Punk looked up and like, "Holy shit. He just gave me the Sting treatment. The hell is he doing with that?" We're gonna get another Bucko Bomb. Bucko Bomb. Wow, that's pretty impressive. A running Bucko Bomb on Roman Reigns is a pretty big dude by Seth Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins, who came to the ring with a crown of thorns sunglasses on the day before Easter. If you're going to do that, buddy, go all out. You got to come out with the cross. I want to see a crucifixion. And, well, I guess on Easter it's a rise. So maybe not crucified, they're rose. By the way, I didn't know this. Someone mentioned this to me yesterday on Facebook. Good Friday was when Jesus was, beat and killed to death. I was like, well, that don't sound very good. Do you think it'd have a better name? What do you think it'd be like? A fucking terrible Friday. It's a really shitty Friday here. Wow. So the Roman Reigns went for a spear. Rollins caught it into a pedigree, which didn't look great, but it worked, I think. And then the curb stomp on Reigns. I'm sure this will not be a 3. We've gotten to the point where, you just expect like 8,000 finisher kickouts on WrestleMania. They should not have done that in slow motion because it kind of worked when I first saw it, but in slow motion, Reigns clearly is like just diving into the pedigree, which I get. I know but it didn't look great in slow motion, honestly. The crowd's really into it though. Now Seth doesn't even look like he's sweating. As there's, I agree with the chat earlier that I'm not really a big fan of like Seth's curve, but he is freaking good. He is freaking good. The Ula Fala. There we go. Ula Fala. Not the Oofalafa. I'm gonna make an Oofalafa shirt. Oofalafa. The Ula Fala. Oompa Loompa. Well, say so. Go little. Wow, so a lot of stuff that's happened there. Seth was really cool string of moves. This is actually a WWE 3-way at its best when everyone's doing their big moves and it's flowing. Whoa, that one actually got me. So I was just saying you just expect 5,000. So they did a big series of reversals and moves. I can't remember them all. Really well done. And it ended with the go to sleep on Reigns, and that near fall got me. I thought that was the end. So yeah, it was a spear on Seth, followed into the go to sleep, which actually hit. And I honestly thought it was the finish. So that one got me. I was just being the Debbie Downer or whatever. Oh, nothing will get me. I know it all. And boom, they got me. But I am the most honest man in podcasting, so I'll admit it. That one got me. It was good. This is WrestleMania here. This is honestly nothing else on the show. None of it was bad. None of it was rotten. I'm not saying any of it sucked. None of it was really that exciting to me. This is WrestleMania here. Except for Pat McAfee. I really don't like that dude. Going for another go to sleep. That is an issue when everyone kicks out of their finishers, and it's like, well, let me go for it again. Like pedigree from Rollins. That one didn't get me. I knew he was going to kick out of that one. Rollins, I think, is sweating a little bit now. Paul Heyman, wow, he's got Paul Heyman as the best tan of everybody in the match. He looks like friggin' Hulk Hogan. Hope he wears sunblock on his head. The only time I've ever had a sunburn in my life, so it was right at the first time I shaved my head, and I went for a walk, and I got a sunburn on the top of my head. And that was not fun. Nate loves Pat. Yeah, there's a lot of people do. I don't get it. I actively hate him. I really do not. I really can't stand listening to him. I find him extremely annoying. But is that a signature? Looks like does that say fight? Oh, I kind of like that. So it looks like Roman has fight written on the sole of his sneaker. So now Seth is trying to build an alliance with Roman to take out Punk. The greater good is to take out Punk. It's a little weird. You think like if anything, you think you'd have two guys team up to take out Roman because he's the bigger of the three guys. Biggest of the three guys. Okay, so what are they going to do? They cleared off the announcers table. I'm not really sure why Roman's even thinking about this. Why not just destroy Punk? Why? Why not? I don't really understand why he'd be like. Why is Roman questioning this? Why would he be so hurt? Like, should I destroy Punk? They're all fighting each other. Take the one guy out, and then you two fight. So I don't see why you would even be. All right, so Rollins, they need Moxley out there for this, I guess, but they're going for the old school Shield. Oh, so they're going to do the old school Shield power bomb, but Roman instead punched Rollins and then just power bomb Punk anyway. Ouch! Looked pretty painful because it didn't just, it broke down, but it did look like he hit pretty hard. I mean, I suppose getting power bombed on a table is never like, oh, that was nice. I had a guest on Without Your Head the other week who found out I was into wrestling, and so before he went live, he was like, "Oh yeah, they that's all fake, and the ring is like a big cushion. There's no possible way you could get hurt, and they use these blood packs." And I was like, "Oh no, they actually cut themselves." And then he's like, "Oh no, I've seen it. They use these." I was like, I just told myself, Neil, just say, "Okay, buddy, let's get the." Roman Reigns with the spear, got the 2.5, not quite the 3. Damn. And it's weird too, because it was a movie guy. And he also talked about how stuntmen get hurt so much. And I'm like, but anyway, he will forever hate Seth, the Shield bomb. I like it. Power bomb through the table. Man, those I don't think those white teeth look good. I just every time he opens his mouth, I can think, look at those fake teeth. They look like when you used to get the fangs like in a gumball machine, but if you just cut the fangs off, you just put in those real white, fake fangs. Reigns now got Punk, threw him back in the ring. What's he gonna do? Another spear? You know what? For WrestleMania, guys should have uber finishers, like a finish. So everyone's got a finisher, but then they should have an uber finisher that they only ever use at WrestleMania. Standing guillotine here on Punk. It is funny with the rise of MMA because, as always, you weren't allowed to choke on wrestling, but now you can just choke. Is Punk going to tap? Punk rolls through 1, 2. No, it's the 3. Now Punk is going to put Reigns in. He's trying to put him in something, but it's not working. There we go. And not. Cole said a great transition, not so much. It was a little wonky there, but he got it on. Punk's got him in something. I'm not really sure what it is. And Rollins is coming in. Rollins is going to do a figure 4 or something. Or no, he's going to do the sharpshooter maybe. Sharpshooter time, which my feed went out for a second. It's back on. Well, not just the WrestleMania spear, but it's got like some move that they only do at WrestleMania. All right, so he's got him in the see now Punk's got kind of yellow teeth. So let's see. Rollins has him in the so Rollins had Punk in the sharpshooter. Roman came in and grabbed him into the choke. Does Roman never do that choke? He does it pretty well. Yeah, as Bad News Barrett just said, ridiculous power. Did not expect Rollins to just pick Roman up like that, dead weight him, and then it was pretty impressive. Cool choke by Roman. Oh, now the curb stop. We're getting into a little too many finisher territory for me at this point. Curb stop, go to sleep. The 2 count. I don't know. I think we're starting to lose me at this point. I think maybe I'm sure they'll get me back into it, but I think we've just seen so many of the same finishers. We've seen 85 go to sleeps, 57 spears, 22 curb stomps. The dark pit in the mind of CM Punk. That's a classic WWE saying that no one would ever say in their lives, but they'll just pull out in commentary. I'm not mad about it. I just think it's funny. All right, so CM Punk's getting up. Just hit his 77th go to sleep, but the 78th one will knock him out. Let's see, what's the chat saying? So I have multiple screens, so sometimes I can't see the chat. I'm sorry. Somebody needs to bring back the Texas Cloverleaf. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, there's other moves out there, people. Oh, Michael's feed cut out, so it wasn't just mine. The Northern Lights was sick. Why would you no sell a Northern Lights? Yeah, I don't know. Another go to sleep. You know what I'm saying though? Like, if you've already hit like 80 go to sleeps and you just keep going for it, it's time to go for the Uber finisher. Another go to sleep, followed by a spear, followed by the curb stomp. I don't know. That should have been cooler, but look at that dude. That was a guy in a cane suit, but he had his mask off and he didn't look, I don't know. It's just kind of a funny look. If you go to wrestling in full attire, like a full body, you've got to keep the mask on the whole time. That is a rule. It's in the fandom handbook. You can't wear a full body suit and a mask and then take it off at some point. You got to keep it on. So all this stuff, curb stomp, spears, go to sleep. But what's going to win it is this old fat guy with the chair. So Paul Heyman's coming in with the chair. We've got the very dramatic Paul Heyman looking back and forth. Is he going to give it to Roman? Is he going to give it to the Ufalafa? Or is he going to give it to his boy, CM Punk? Or is he going to swerve us all and give it to Seth Rollins? Or is he going to bring in somebody new? Is Sabu going to come in? take the chair. Oh, he slid it over to Punk. We've got sadness in the eyes of Reigns is going to cry. Reigns has been betrayed by the wise man. I guess Punk's now is Punk heel now? Or am I just passe Punks and heels? That doesn't exist anymore. All right, we're getting into drama land here. This is when, yeah, okay. So now we're getting into the swerve after swerve after swerve, which took me out of the AEW show too. When it's like FTR like pushes each other, but then they still like, I don't know. So Paul Heyman, he teases to Reigns. Reigns cries when he slides the chair to Punk. Paul Heyman crawls in, low blows Punk, and now he's on his hands and knees, ready to suck the cock of ready to give the chair to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is infatuated as much as Paul Heyman is. Paul Heyman has a hard time getting off his knees. And now we just gotta be. Is this? I assume this is no disqualification. Would that be lazy booking, or does that only count if it's the other company? I'll be honest, and people have watched the show for years. When it gets into this territory, it's not really. It's not even like I don't consider this like wrestling. It's like we're now into like a stage play, where it's like they just stand around and this guy looks at this guy and this guy hits this guy 800 times. And then people talk about like modern wrestling not being to me, this isn't wrestling. Now we got another low blow. So Paul Heyman is he's got like a arm of steel. It's going to fucking bust everyone's balls. So Paul Heyman now he busted Punk's balls. He busted Reigns' balls, and now he's giving the chair to Seth. He hit him in the balls, and then someone else. Or is this the new era? This is Seth Rollins, and I kind of called this to begin with that maybe this would happen, but low blows all around. I honestly, this all kind of ruined the match for me. I know a lot of people love it, but I'm just not into this stuff. All right. So now we've got Seth with the chair. Roman slowly getting up. Is Rollins going to hit him with the chair? Or is it another swerve? Rollins is going to hit the ref. No, he hits Roman in the back. One chair shot, not 80. Curb stomp. Punk's balls are still busted. That's the pin. Not a fan. Overbooked, I would say. For me, I know this will probably get over with a lot of people. Overbooked for me. There was a point in the match where you guys were watching me in real time. I'm not saying that's everyone's opinion. Just my opinion was definitely overbooked. Just nonstop finish. And then there was a point I was like, oh, they got me. And then they kept going. I kind of was out of it. And then this long stuff where it's this weird, very like a stage play drama where it's more about people staying in the ring and looking at each other, and no one's really doing wrestling. They're just hitting each other and standing around. It just doesn't work for me. That's been going in the main events for a few years in WWE, maybe more, like 5 years, and it's just never worked for me. Usually in the Bloodline stuff, but I mean it's been hugely successful. So I'm just saying, for me as a fan, it doesn't work for me. Not my deal. And all the stuff they took. This one ball shot. This fucking Punk is just out forever after that. Freaking the most powerful man in wrestling is this 60-year-old fat dude. All right. So Seth, it was definitely still the highlight of WrestleMania Night 1, I would say. But not my favorite. Everyone worked hard, obviously. I'd say overall Night 1 was I'd say thumbs down. There's nothing that really until this match, I really didn't feel anything was very WrestleMania worthy. And then this match, the entrance really felt big to me. Got me excited. 3/4 of the match, I was really into it. The last quarter, not so much. So I'm gonna give Night 1 thumbs down. Nothing overtly terrible, but nothing I would really tell anyone, wow, you really need to see this. Plus, what is this for? It's no title involved or anything. This match is just for like the love of Paul Heyman. It should get like a Slim Jim's deal or something. I was gonna say scholarship, but that wouldn't make sense. But maybe sponsorship. Yeah, I agree, Michael. Last match was what I really felt like was a Mania match, and then the whole ending for me is just not that's not my cup of tea. But I will admit it's been going on for a while, and a lot of people like it, that kind of stuff. So I mean, you can't dislike Paul though. Look at that; he's just got the look as he's looking at Seth Rollins. That's pretty funny. Right. So I don't know. It's weird though. Jey Uso's the champ, and all these guys are clearly bigger stars. All right, so that's night 1. Hope night 2 is better. Yeah, I won't be here tomorrow. I'll be leaving. I'll be going out for Easter for late lunch, early dinner, and then I'll be heading up to Medford, Boston area to film Our Man Funk. I am has been cast as Truett. Wow, he was definitely the least pick for me, but hey, I'm glad you dug it, Nate. Yeah, I agree with the soap opera bollocks. Yeah, it's not. I don't really dig it. It's very Bloodline main event. Yeah, bunch of stuff happens, and then the actual important bits happen. Exactly, that's what I was saying. I couldn't see your chat, but I just don't like when people talk about like a lot of like a Will Ospreay or like modern wrestling where it's like a lot of moves, like that's not really wrestling, whatever. I feel it is because it's still. I get they're doing a lot of stuff that they might not need to do, but to me, this is the stuff that really doesn't feel like wrestling. Where it's like this, it's like very stage play like. It's like, oh, who gets the chair? And they're just standing there like very dramatically looking at their. It's like almost like either a silent movie or like stage play like ah ha ha. And people are whoa, and then they're just and it's no longer a match. It's just like they're walking around and then they beat each other for a whole bunch of times, and I just don't like it, and I haven't liked it for years. Like I said, it's I'm not just saying that. Any Jeff Cobbs? No, I don't think there was any. I don't think there was any new guys. No surprises at all. I don't think. Maybe you'll fight Orton. Who? I mean, do you care? Would you care if you did? Oh, you mean Jeff Cobb? Maybe that'd be a good way to bring him in. I was disappointed that more disappointed now than even I was when I think about it, because. So you had Rey Fenix substitute for Rey Mysterio. I have to think, wow, this is his real. You're putting him on a big platform, and then he lost. And I was like, oh, now that I think about it, like I didn't even, I wasn't crazy about it at the time, but now I think about it, like I think that really hurts his momentum. Does night 1 make you more? Or, definitely less. I think it'll probably be better because I think all like any kind of surprises will be on night 2. and you actually will be closing with a title match. So I think it'll be better, but after that show, I'm not really dying to see more. Aleister Black or Rusev, yeah, maybe. It is kind of lame too. Like if you have like a bunch of these like surprises on night 2, I get that it's the main event night, but tickets cost the same. So if you bought night 1, you don't really get anything. Yeah, I agree. Less for me. Hit the like button, subscribe, and if you can, please become a member. Help support the channel. It costs a lot to run everything here. Becky Lynch is going to replace Bayley. That's possible. If you become a member tonight, I will send you a wrestling sticker. Just send me your address. Let's see our sponsors: El Santos World, Brian Matthew Clutter, and the Lurker. Nate G, thanks to Watch Along Nasty Nerd World. Oh, thank you, Nate. We still have in the plans, Nate, for my brother and I to do a Dabbleverse show, but I've been very busy with some movie stuff. What the hell is the Dabbleverse? And the idea is I'm going to explain what the Dabbleverse is to my brother Troy. So we'll that is the idea with clips and whatnot. All right. At some point. Let's see here. I'm just looking over, make sure I didn't miss anything. Any chats here? Nate G, new member. El Santos World. El Santos World. The Lurker and Brian Matthew Clutter, producers. And Hall of Famers get a shout out every week on the show, and that includes Ricky Ferguson, Vic Schiavone, and Stephen Butler. And I'm going to give Nate G a shout out here for becoming a new member. He's just a Headyverse member, but it's not just a Headyverse member. That is very important here. Let's see. Who hell yeah, I'll be there. Thanks for the watch along. I hope Lex is okay. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe he got arrested or something. All right. So I'm not sure about when we'll be live this week. I'll be filming a movie. Thank you, Craig. I should have made coffee earlier. I do think that reinvigorated me. Coffee is life. Let's see. When I come back, though, I'm going to add some old shows I've been remastering onto for members only. So if you become a member, any member, $3 and up, you will get remastered episodes of classic in your head. So the first 31 episodes are up now. And back in the day, we recorded these episodes on Skype. And they're not that great. The audio's not great. So we got a bunch of the old episodes. And then we've got interviews with like C.W. Anderson, R.D. Reynolds, J.J. Dillon, the genius Lanny Poffo, Steve Carino, Wrestling News Live, Brian Alvarez, Ox Baker, Charlie Haas, Lance Hoyt, Paul Bearer, Lance Storm, Ed Ferrara, Stan the Lariat Hansen. So Nate, you can go check these out if you like. Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton, Ron the Truth Killings, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Adnan Al-Casey. That's a very rare interview. I don't think he did many interviews. Dave Meltzer, Don West, and the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant. This is really sad looking over this because this is our first year. And out of the first 31 episodes, there's like, let's see, 1, 2. Well, let's see. JSK is no longer with us from Wrestling News Live. Don West no longer with us. Adnan LKC. Paul Bearer. Ox Baker. Oh, the genius. Yeah, Lanny Poffo. Wow. Oh, that's really sad. 6 of our first 30 guests are no longer all passed away. So yeah, go check that out, please. Thanks, Jack. Have a good week. Thank you, Michael. And I'll talk to you guys soon. I may post some stuff from depending how busy I am. Wish me luck, or as the actors say, break a leg. I'm going to be playing Truett, the mob boss, in Our Man Funk with Zach Amico, Mark Torgo from Toxic Avenger, Lloyd Kaufman, Trauma, Bill Whedon from Kabuki Man, NYPD, Sergeant Kabuki Man, all kinds of people. So, gonna be a fun show, a fun movie. So, I'm going to try to post some photos of what I can, depending on how much time I have. And I will see you guys soon. So if I don't do a show Tuesday, we'll do a show sometime this week so we can talk about all of WrestleMania. So if I'm on Wednesday, I'll do a Wednesday show after Dynamite. Thursday, do Without Your Head, so probably not that. So if not Tuesday or Wednesday, probably that weekend. I know it'll be a little bit after WrestleMania, but what can you do? All right, folks. Happy Easter, everybody. Enjoy night 2 of WrestleMania. And I will talk to you guys soon. And honestly, thanks everyone for stopping here. I know I didn't really promote this. I would like to start doing these more often. So if you guys would like to watch a WrestleMania other pay-per-view watch-alongs, maybe Raw or Dynamite, whatever. Let me know. We'll try to do them up when I'm home. I'm not always home to watch stuff live. All right. I'm out of here. Good night, everybody.